want to shout out to all the VIP. This is London, guys. Let's go ahead through the price action. Nice day on the market. Let's take a look at BTC on the right, up 3.28%. Let's take a look at Doge as well, up 6.7%. Very nice. In terms of the price action, we'll kind of split the screen for the guys in the back. I want to welcome all the VIP as our top level of membership. Go ahead and shout out with a like and let me know in the comments who's here. Nice day in the market, picking up on a Sunday, which is not all together familiar with the market. Sunday's a nice day to get some price action. We're going to discuss the details, technical analysis. You guys know, former financial professional, but not financial advice. Clearly, we're going to look at both of these coins today. I'm excited about the price action in BTC. I kind of encouraged everybody last night to have some exposure to the upside. What's up, No Torque? Way to go, brother. Very nice to see you. Yeah, last night I did let you guys know, be prepared to go up, right? In terms of that, we had an A, just so that everybody remembers. If you missed the stream last night, we had an A right here, and I let people know that, and shout out to Pathfinder in the house. What's up, brother? Then I think we had a 1 or a 2, right? 1 or 2. I'm not sure how we laid this out exactly. A 1 to the upside as kind of option number 1, and just to prepare for the possibility for a 2. Always prepare for the possibility for a downside, but I wanted to let you guys know, do prepare for the upside, and always, guys, always never overexposed, etc. In terms of your price action, you always want to be able to cover. You don't want to ruin the week, right? Or ruin the month with a bad trade. Period. So exposure to the upside was discussed. Glad that we discussed that, period. In terms of the price action, looks like we've broken a key barrier on BTC. Looks like also, and we have a nice conformance between the two. I'd say between the two charts here, with BTC on the right and Doge on the left. We'll take a look at this in terms of this specific pattern formation. Nice to see, I guess just guys, nice to see we're up and out. Look at BTC 47,250. Shout out to Torque. What's up, brother? I know that you guys were prepared. If you were watching, prepared for the upside. And it doesn't have to be an all-in situation, right? We don't have to have heart attacks on the on the stream. That doesn't have to happen. But you can just see being prepared for the eventuality of some positive price action. Bam, you're in the money. Very, very nice. Pathfinder, wanted to stream a little bit early and make sure that you were here, without a doubt. I know you're overseas, so it's nice to have you in the group. Definitely VIP. I'm going to get the specific sponsor. Man, it's called the sponsor tool or something like that on just so you know, on our stream. And I can't get the darn thing to show up. It's on the bottom, but I'm going to get all your pictures up and running so that you know it will be up and running, because I want to show you your pictures, right? That's a big let's see, high duration. Not sure what this is. I can work on the details. If anyone knows Streamlabs very, very well, you guys need to let me know and help me out with the pictures. I'm having trouble with the pictures. I can't get them to flow through, but I will work on that in the background, potentially as we work on the price action here. We'll cover some of the major movers as well. Nice to see this move to the upside. Essentially, were we to be in, I'd say, the express configuration of a pennant formation, just to remind yourselves that we have a bit of an upside level of resistance that has caught us previously. You guys know that it's caught us previously. On the left is Doge, on the right is BTC. A lot of guys in the back are trading Doge, so I want to keep that up. The possibility that we've set a low on Doge is exciting for a lot of guys, so I wanted to bring that up for you guys, because it's been a rough road on Doge for those who were not prepared to operate at the lower levels, right? For those who were, i.e. Pathfinder, i.e. VIP, you guys are loving it. Very, very nicely done. So let's go through the details here. And yeah, the expressed top line resistance again on BTC is just the carry up function of this specific parallel channel. We'll want to watch this. It looks like I do have that extended from the bottom level. There we go. This specific parallel function here. What a great line to beat, guys. That would be just a crucial line to beat. Not much more in our way up and above this specific top line resistance. Let me go ahead and make this parallel channel a little bit more obvious. I hope you guys are doing well, having a good weekend. Without a doubt. We streamed a little bit late last night. Duke was busy getting beaten, and they were busy getting beat by University of North Carolina. Those are two big basketball colleges in the U.S. So I went to Duke, so it was not nice to watch them lose, but it kind of reminded me of crypto. I'm like, man, just give me back to the charts. I don't need this. I don't need the hoops. Just show me the charts. Let's go with the charts. And it may be a good analogy too, though. If you win some, lose some, and what we say, just next. Incidentally, I want to let you know I do have Let me go that, I don't want to go to this specific function. On Doge, for some reason, it pops up and it'll show me MACD configurations, buys and sells, and this and that. I do not use these. I want to let you guys know, whenever they pop up, they are trash. Okay, that's all they are. If you see them on my screen, MACD, this and that, normally I'm hunting for the MACD protocol below that. What I was going over with the VIP earlier in terms of the specific MACD functions. We were talking, across time frames, etc. And if I ever pull up, you see a buy or a sell indicator, it's just trash, guys. Don't pay attention to those specified automatic signals. Not cool, guys. In terms of an automatic signal generator for purchases and sales, it's just they don't work very well, guys. You know that. So stick to your roots in TA, and you'll do much better than any of those buy or sell indicators, unless you're really good at formulating them yourself. So, looking at BTC on the daily, we knew that the biggest aspect for me was that we were holding this specific line of prior resistance to support. That was the most important function I wanted to see hold on BTC. Looks like indeed we're getting some nice price action, and to the extent that can pick up without an additional bullish formulation here, and that bullish formulation, is just the implied pennant on a lower time frame, on that lower time frame, then I would be thrilled. It would be a little bit, and we're seeing this expressed. Actually, I took a look at the, believe it or not, the UFO chart, just to let you guys know. I had looked at the UFO chart. Look at this, UFO USTD, and it was a newer coin. It's discussed that with Angel. I want to shout out to Angel, and our number one contributor and invested in Bitcoin at $7 to $8. He's an old timer, and he's not old, but he has a lot of experience in BTC and in crypto. So shout out to Angel, brother. I know it's your birthday, and would like to have you here so we could throw some fireworks off. I've got some fireworks for you, brother. In terms of UFO, I looked at UFO earlier. I'm like, UFO has a nicely indicated, because I had brought that to the VIP recently, a couple days ago, et cetera, just to take a look at, et cetera, if they wanted to invest. Looking at this, it had that nice indicated, essentially the same as BTC, and UFO had moved earlier. It was a little bit easier to see this implied bull pennant, the run to the upside of the symmetrical consolidation, symmetrical triangulation. It was a little bit easier to see that. UFO had broken out earlier, so I was looking at it, I was like, I see it there. So it was just kind of a little, a little bit of a pre-market mover or an early mover in the market. Very interesting. And on UFO, you'll see that I do have lined out very well that we need to stay informed of is the possibility, just like on the macro on BTC that we're currently dealing with. I want to shout out to the VIP guys. I want to shout out to you guys. I want to say what's up. Hope you guys doing well. But this specific carry up function, if this is an implied bull pennant, just understand that we do have a symmetrical consolidation on UFO or any of the charts. Also, we could look at BTC clearly and just say that we would have an implied carry up resistance, this top level formation here, in terms of that carry up of the line of support to that top line resistance potentially. And pardon there, 1 minute with the mic. So I'm looking at that. We'll dig in. We won't stick on UFO, but for the record, I just had seen that earlier, and I wanted to see kind of how that was playing out within the in between. And if I ever find an early mover, I'm always trying to apply that to the active the active patterns on the larger coins, etc. Sometimes they'll give us a little bit of a clue, just kind of an exploratory clue in terms of patterning something that's moving versus something that hasn't moved yet. Always looking for a first mover in terms of the advantage. Looking at the hey, Lanchester. What's up, Lanchester? How are you, brother? You notice Ape is also following BTC. Nice. Yeah, absolutely. Lanchester, what's up, brother? Nice to have you here, and you're welcome, brother. I appreciate you being here with the streams. We invite you to join. Looks like you got a little bit of military, something going on. We got quite a cool military crew. I don't know if you know that, but In and Out was just, I saw that Richard Rios was in the back. Richard's former / current U.S. Army. He just got back in from Korea, and we've got AJ Crypto. AJ Crypto is former U.S. Air Force. I am, what would I say? I studied military strategic intelligence, military intel. So that's my not formally affiliated with any department, agency, bureau, nor military division, domestic nor abroad. That's my tagline. So you can probably understand that loud and clear. So we'll copy that, and you can feel free to join our VIP. We got a lot of cool dudes in the back, and yeah, I'm a former financial professional. You know all that jazz. Not financial advice. Harvard Business School, Duke University, etc. Study, and just excited to have the opportunity to help out all you guys. So yeah, you could join the just so you know, Lanchester, you can join the base camp. As base camp, it's price of a pack of gum. Just let us know that you belong to the group you're around, and you're free to. I've been following you for some time. Have 21 years in. 21 years in. What's up, brother? Thank you for your service. Without a doubt, thank you for your service. That is just awesome. We really appreciate the opportunity to hopefully be of a little bit of help to you. As you look at your crypto, it's not intuitive, brother, and it requires a lot of the logistical skills are a nice crossover. The levels of discipline and consistency. Believe it or not, discipline and consistency will carry you further than a lot of the logistical in terms of your trading. So we are excited to have you here, and nice to touch base with you on a Sunday. So yeah, you can just hit the button in terms of in terms of going to. Just join that base camp or join the VIP. VIP is in the back. We're going over some new coins today, and just so that you guys know, and I know that you guys do know, but going through the Fibonacci's, going through the it's just a great look at this in terms of I got to bring up Slim Doginator. He's just a cool dude. He rode just so you know, he rode Doge from the top to the bottom. He's hitting targets. He's doing a great job, and he just knows what he's doing. Look at his charts. Look at this chart. Bam. Just cool charts in the back. Great guys in terms of technical advantages just back there. I wouldn't say that otherwise because I'm back there. And to let everybody know, I always tell people like I joined VIP too. Like it's my group, but yeah, I'm a paying member of VIP as well. So hopefully that communicates something to you guys. I just like being VIP. It's a cool group. And let's go through the. We can go through the in terms of the. Let's see here in terms of the. Pattern dynamics. Let's go through a little bit of the. I don't want to focus too much on the rising wedge. You guys know on BTC, and I'll cut away from Doge just for a second. Here on the right, let's just focus on BTC. The one pattern, I'm going to say the one pattern that's kind of bothering me on BTC as I look at this is the only pattern that kind of bothers me right now in terms of this. I want you guys to be prepared, essentially. There we go. Shiba Doge, where'd he go? Looking at the potential here for a rising wedge. Just stay aware of this. Now you guys know how to trade these, right? You understand that the price action. This will apply to Doge as well. Just look at BTC real quickly. Let me dig into this. Let me find the correct indicator. 1 second. All right. Yeah, I've got it here. I always say, let me find my scuba mask. It's under this specific there, under the triangle. There we go. Bam. Scuba mask. The polyline looks like a scuba mask. So in terms of this, looking at this ascending, right, the ascending line of resistance thus far, and the ascending and constricting therewith, okay, constricting this line of support, constricting with that line of resistance across the top. This is the definition of a rising wedge. So the one thing about this, we can beat it, okay, it can be beaten, but it is something that the traders are currently looking at. We know this. As a matter of fact, we're looking at it. The advanced traders right now in the market are looking at this on BTC and some other coins. To the extent that we would expect some price action up and above this line, it need not reconfirm across this level of support or retouch along the level of support. However, just be aware that this is kind of I'm going to say a hotspot danger zone, identified as a hotspot danger zone, where people are going to be a little bit potentially reserved in terms of their capital exposure, in terms of how heavily they will be involved. At least we know that they will have the orders at that level of support below, and in all probability, I'll just let you know, in all probability, they will have multiple orders in at much lower levels on the Fibonacci's therein below both that level of resistance, prior resistance, to potentially confirm it to support, right, and this lower level of support at that level. So these other Fibonacci's come into play anytime you see a rising wedge. It's just a bearish feature by default. It is what it is. It's nothing to be afraid of in terms of the overall, what we say, just in terms of the overall architecture of the patterns that we're trading, etc. We have, I'd say we have some bullish patterns to contradict that specific rising wedge. The bullish pattern, as you guys would as we can all recall, comes from the weekly. Let's dig into the weekly real quickly so we can frame the market. You guys know right now we're seeing that, for instance, Doge is requiring some action for the most part. There was 1 or 2 days that we got some action on Doge without BTC. That was nice to see. We'd like to see that repeated. If you guys remember in 2021, do you remember the days that literally Doge ran away with the market? If you guys will remember that, that was some intense price action. That was 2 or 3 days with Doge at 20% to 30%. It absolutely it ran contrary to the entirety of the market. No one could catch Doge. No coin could touch Doge. So as we look at the weekly, let's carry in from the weekly, right? We discussed this this symmetrical triangulation. This is the bullish feature, okay? Once it had turned to the upside, broken the line of resistance, right, meeting that threshold amplitude target on the weekly, we're done. I've said this, 100 times. In terms of weekly, we are done, right? To the extent that we have a pattern framework to extend the notion of that symmetrical triangulation. Let's go to the 4 hourly here. Let me just go through these technicals again, and remember this cross trend line, which is this support right to this resistance. This cross trend line indicates that this upper feature in here, this upper level price action, is excluded from the designation of this specific symmetrical triangulation. You guys know that, okay? Any cross trend line essentially is going to bound this specific price action, and it wouldn't be included. You start to get into some inclusion here with the candle wicks. However, it would be the most aggressive drawing that you could get here for BTC, just so you understand. And as BTC kind of drives the market, guys, you really don't want to catch a day in one of your altcoins when BTC decides to shed 5, 6, 7, 8%. I'll tell you that, guys, it becomes brutal in some of those altcoins. When you have a day like that, kind of a fire sale, where you're looking at your altcoins going down, some 15, some 20, some 25%. You know this, guys, and we look at a few fire sales. I call it a fire sale, right? Just because everything's red and it's on sale, right? In terms of that, we had a few of those instances. We caught one for sure. The next one, we were looking at a real strong secondary feature after that primary fire sale. If you guys remember, we got a few kind of chop sales to the downside after that. So let's see what we got here. Glory days of Doge. Looking forward to them again. There we go. Notor got in. Zill, great coin. Decided to move. Few coins really deciding to move. Let's see. I thought NFT Week in Florida would have a positive impact on the crypto market. Didn't though. Oh, interesting. NFTs. Interesting market cap. If you looked at the NFT market cap. And Lanchester, go ahead and join, brother. At least on the base camp level. Just hop in for a pack of gum, brother. We'd love to welcome you, and you need to go ahead and join if you want to chat with us. We want to chat with you all day long, bro. But we kind of have the exclusive thing working, and we'll protect your chat space just like I'm protecting theirs now. So go ahead and just join in. If you don't like it, just cruise on, and you're fine. But we'd like having you here. So go ahead and show us that you'd like to be a member. It's like $3, $5, I don't know, a month just for the base camp. If you'd like to join VIP, we'd welcome you to join VIP. So in terms of this specific feature, as we talk about the pattern formation, we talk about expanding to become a little bit more aggressive on that 4 hourly chart, okay? And again, on the candle wicks, you're going to have a little bit more room to become even more aggressive. Again, on that top line, you'll see the invitation to start including a little bit of this price action, okay? A little bit of the price action from this preceding zone. You guys got that, okay? In terms of that level of support to resistance function on the lines on the 4 hourly, it's clearly excluded, okay? This entirety of this zone is important because to the extent that we take this specific measurement and bring it up, we would be including a greater amplitude move projected target to the upside. So it's crucial that we look at that in terms of where is this bound. The 4 hourly is a very solid time frame. You guys know that. Very, very solid time frame in terms of the ability to project to the upside. Okay, in terms of this, and I've just got it laid out as about right at the 55,600 there about. Okay, so looking at the framework there, we do have a bullish, structure to go ahead and give us give the traders some resolve. And I don't want it doesn't need to sound like a graduation speech. Like give us some resolve, but in terms of the ability to persist, against this rising wedge feature, it is a contraindicated, or it's a negative implication on the market. You guys know this. So as we would look at this specific feature to the upside, we need to balance, the trade. I say the trade. What we say the trading aspects, and to the extent that one will trump the other, I'll just say that there are two conflicting patterns right now. They're not diametrically opposed. It's not like we have a real strong, some sort of a kind of a shelf or anything along the top that we're just looking at completely capitulating into, right? That would counterbalance the notion that we could go up and could complete this top line in terms of the target for the symmetrical triangulation. So this is really actually a pattern which could still facilitate completion to the upside. And I haven't talked about the rising wedge too much, but you guys know the traders are looking at it. If we're looking at it, the traders are looking at it. We are traders. So to the extent that we have this specific formation in line with that preceding line of resistance here, right? If we really wanted to draw this up and through, we would have a hit at resistance, really 2 hits at resistance, 3 hits at resistance. Then we would have 1 hit and 2 hits along that level of support. So that is clearly indicated. You guys understand we can operate up and above, without a doubt. We can operate up and above this level of resistance. At times it gets choppy. You guys know that. It gets unpredictable. It gets choppy. You remember during this specific sequence down here, as you would look at this, if we dig back into the 5-minute price action, you guys will remember the prior ascending triangles got real catchy. We were streaming live for a few of them, and they just got really tough to handle. And let me try and put a let me go back to the 30-minute, see if I can put a good eye on this specific original. There we go. In terms of this specific feature, this primary ascending wedge that we looked at, let's take a look at this. Let me draw a triangulation through it. And the ascending wedge, I believe, guys, you correct me if I'm wrong, was right in here, and we will designate just right as that. You guys remember this first ascending wedge that we called out, and to the extent that it is quote unquote bearish, this was this was quite a move. Now to get to this specific move to the downside, and again you see bearish, but it doesn't mean does not indicate it's a reversal pattern, right? You need to look at this. Bearish feature doesn't necessarily indicate that it's a reversal pattern. We still continue to the upside, but after a fallout to the downside, depending upon your trade skills, what you're applying to the market, your strategy, etc. This could be an opportunity, or this could be it could be very difficult for you, right? You can either have it as an opportunity, or you can have it as a difficulty. So we prefer to look at the pattern structure in terms of it presenting a bearish or a bullish indication on the probabilities. Not that it can't be beaten, right? If it's 80%, what becomes inevitable? Let's say if it's an 80% possibility or a 70% possibility or probability, the 20% or that 30% becomes the inevitability. So that's what we look at in terms of this. And what I bring this up for is because across the top of this line of resistance, just remind yourselves, this was that was some difficult trading. You guys, a lot of people got eaten up on shorts here, just so that you know, or sold out of their position potentially thinking we're going back down into. We were actually streaming live during this. This was some catchy price action. In terms of a descending triangle, bearish in nature as well, we would have expected this to pour down. Just to reframe the price action a bit, we would have expected that to pour down to essentially that 100 moving average on the 30-minute, right? Instead, it picked right back up, gave us that double top along the top of that level of resistance, and thereafter we capitulated. So looking at the secondary feature, the reason I bring that up, by the way, is just to show you that we can have some catchy price action, some difficult patterns to always say to work in terms of just at all, to trade, etc. It becomes a bit unpredictable across the top of a rising wedge. The one thing about this rising wedge, it has that pattern structure that we like in terms of the angle to the upside, right? That's a more predictable pattern framework to work with instead of maybe a rising wedge that we're looking at right now. Granted, right, the rising wedge that we're looking right now on the macro is a little bit less angled to the upside, a little bit flat. The flatter that we become, the more bullish that they become. The more that it fits in the construct of an ascending triangle, flat top resistance, ascending line of support, I'd say the more structurally bullish that we're looking at the pattern as. So let me dig into the chats real quickly. See who's saying what we got. Torque, Pathfinder, etc. going on, and hopefully Lanchester's going to be joining us. We would appreciate that opportunity to trade with you. That's a big idea, brother. That's one of the reasons I just decided this year I want to join. I want a badge as well. That's a big deal for me. I just why not? Just it's a good group. So bottom line, I appreciate all the VIP and base campers, all the subscribers as well. Thanks for shouting out, Lanchester, and we wish you well in all your endeavors, and thanks for all your service. Career, you got the career going. Yeah, that's a good thing, without a doubt. In terms of the stories you could tell, but you won't. So as we look at this line of support, potential carry up for BTC, right? Just within this framework, you don't have to go to the candle wicks exactly, but nice to see this specific price action right now after we discussed that last night, up 2.52%, and just the opportunity just have exposure in terms of the ability to carry up, right? And with orders below. We always say buy at support, sell at resistance, trade your patterns, and hit your targets, right? Hitting your targets is an ongoing endeavor. If you guys know that, having orders waiting below, like the guys who hit best hit after a good wait, right? They hit after a good wait here. It was 75 days to get down into our lower target on that 4-hourly. Just huge. Very, very important. Always having those orders waiting. We were streamed live during the second hit on that 50%, on that 50% retouch for BTC. Looks like we're slowing just a bit in terms of price action, but Doge is up 6.63%, guys. That's a nice move for Doge. Let's take a look at the 30-minute. Let's dig into the 5-minute. Let's take a look and see what we can establish here. And that was a nice move in the back. I let VIP know I was looking at an ascending triangle in this area. I want to shout out to all the VIP and to Angel, brother. If you're in the crowd, let me know what's up. Need to hear from you. It's your birthday. You got to say hello to VIP at least on your birthday, man. Don't go without saying hello on your birthday. That'd be cruel. We want to hear from you, brother. In terms of this move to the upside, I let VIP know I was looking at some structure aligned with this, and really I believe it was this interior pattern. If VIP will correct me if I'm wrong, but this specific the lines within this area, and just essentially had a nice denotation or demarcation as we would look at a flat top resistance in this zone. So looking at that, we'll always carry up amplitude. So I normally just cut and paste real quickly to get a quick idea of where we would be headed, and sometimes I just shrink this back in to get the idea of what that top line target may be. So in addition to the other pattern structures that are there, that ascending triangle looks like it has played. I'll let the VIP know on this level, like buyers need to step in, and they certainly did. Congrats to the VIP. Congrats to anybody else who is trading. Nice moves. So we will, I'd say, reframe this a bit in terms of the different time frames. Your lines do not carry over on the different time frames. Make sure that you redraw your lines as you go through the different time frames. Very, very important. Looks like we've stopped off at a preceding intermittent high here. Very technically sound in terms of that take. It's demonstrating that buyers are in the market right now, guys. I would say any flat top, okay, you could say, well, that's a bad thing. No, it's indicating that buyers are in the market. Traders are in the market. They're literally taking at a prior high. Bam. This was really a double take at two different prior preceding highs. So that's indicating that there are literally buyers in the market. Bam, taking at a preceding high. To the next one. Bam, taking at that next preceding high. So this 1-2 preceding high punch is letting us know that there's a presence of buyers in the market. We'd like to see that. That's what that indicates when you see people taking at that intermittent high. Now, either additional pattern formation or we would look at additional pattern formation or just sheer momentum can get us up and past that. We would look at and I'll split into BTC, so we can definitely keep an eye on BTC. We love BTC. It is the anchor of the entirety of the market, right? It's the leading coin, and we don't ever want to forget about it. So even when we're off racing with altcoins, etc., we're always paying attention to BTC. And I want to shout out to AJ Crypto, the longest serving. He's not serving VIP. I'm still looking at Lanchester in the chats. What do we got? The longest known member of VIP. I'm going to say that. I think he did have prior service with United States Air Force, and so I'm looking at Lanchester. He's got the U.S. flag. Born and bred look to him. So anyway, I've got 2 or 3 things on my mind right now. But yes, AJ Crypto, the reason I bring him up, because AJ Crypto had a huge, and he has been a VIP longer than anyone else. So we welcome AJ to our stream. We hope he can dial in at some point. To the extent that AJ picked up in this zone, guys, you know how comfortable that is in terms of hitting those targets for BTC. And BTC is nice because it will carry liquidity. If you have a large liquidity position, i.e. a large order, absolutely it will carry it, guys. So we appreciate that fact about BTC. We don't have the, it's just there's no restraint on the trade, etc. It will carry a $1 billion, I don't know, $1 billion trade necessarily. It'll definitely it will carry a $1 billion position. But like a $1 billion trade, maybe not, right? I think you would have some difficulty trading $1 billion actively on a day trading basis. The notion therein is the following. Typically, unless you're in really part of a big market dynamic, the market's kind of set against people putting their large positions in, making the price go up because they put that position in and then allowing them to sell. Do you understand that? So a large enough position at some point will be a little bit destructive towards the notion of being able to trade that position immediately, unless you're in kind of a market, I'd say a real market dynamic ongoing with a lot of mass participation. You guys understand that? If you were to put in, let's say $5 billion to $10 billion into BTC, and the price were to go up. Let's say we got a big spike on a candle wick right here. Bam, the price just were to go up. Say 25 billion were put into Bitcoin in one hefty chunk. Bam, right? If that were to occur, the market is built so that the individual who put the $25 billion in could not make the price go up to a higher price to whereafter or during which time or just immediately subsequently thereafter, that the participant could sell at the higher price that the participant or the buyer helped create during his entry. You guys get that? It's not irrelevant to the extent that you consider your market cap coins that are smaller in nature, right? As you would look at potentially carrying a bigger level of liquidity into those coins, etc. Just understand that the bigger you go on a lower threshold coin, you make more of a splash, and the splashes are I say you have more of an effect on the market price, and to the extent that is not a desirable position because you'd like to trade that feature, you need to consider that at all times. Okay, so Angel knows what I'm talking about. You get this nice big spike, bam, because you entered, and then your price is back down in this level. Okay, so the market's kind of built against too much an individual pushing price up and taking advantage of that specific price. Just so we covered it, right? It doesn't go without saying so we covered it. So Crypto Cash, what's up, Crypto Cash? Some say Zill will retrace. Hey, Crypto Cash, you want to join? We'd love to have you join our base camp, etc. Otherwise, this whole area is kind of like a restricted zone for VIP, but we would love to have you in our group, brother. So let's see what we got. I'm going to take those off just so you know, Crypto Cash, but I'll let you know that you are formally invited to join our trade group. Let me go to and let me just express a specific invitation to Lanchester. Let's see if I can type this out real quickly. Lanchester, boom. There we go. Lanchester, we would really like for you to join our VIP trade group. There we go. And you are officially invited. There we go. Want to make sure that's in the chat there for Lanchester. And what do we got here? In terms of who else do we have? Crypto Cash. I think I've talked to you, Crypto Cash, in the past. If not, you're just as welcome in terms of joining. We had a little bit of a chat earlier on with Lanchester, and typically we try and reserve the commentary and the coins, etc., for the VIP and base campers. But base campers, the price of a pack of gum, guys. Just let us know that you kind of belong. Like you're registered with YouTube. It's not like a fake account. You have to understand from our standpoint, it's like not a fake account. You're registered with YouTube, right? It's like everything kind of makes sense. You're ready to trade, or you do trade. It's not like a bad account we should stay away from. Some of that stuff happens, guys. So that's one of the reasons we like amidst everything that's on the internet and the different types of individuals that may be on the internet. It's one of the things that we're consistently aware of. So look at BTC, guys. Let's look at BTC. Now let's discuss this in context. It's very, very interesting. Let me get a sip of water real quickly. Okay. Now BTC has just hammered back down. Ouch. Now, how many people here were prepared last night? Let's talk about this, guys. It's a big deal. How many people here were prepared last night when we went over the fact, be prepared to go up and be prepared to go back down? I don't want to say back down right now. That we should maybe add that in with BTC. Be prepared to go back up and go back down, potentially. Looking at BTC, capitulated back to 1.37% to the upside. We'll look at the potential cross-trend lines that we may have run into real quickly here. Difficult deal. Now, BTC is kind of renowned for this. Just how many people that were, you were pre-positioned. I'm going to say VIP were pre-positioned. If you watch, whoa, sorry about that notification. If you watched last night, you guys know last night we discussed. Let us see what we got. No torque. I do quick trade so I don't hold for long. I've learned not to get attached. Hey, that's right. I got to say that's right. That's no emotion, huh? No emotions in the trades, absolutely. So looking at BTC, not too accommodating. Now, the guys who just jumped in, I tell you guys, we talk about liquidity grabs, etc., who just decided to hammer in or whatnot. There's a lot of unhappy people in the market, guys. You guys understand that. So for VIP that were ready last night in the zone, you have already beaten this whole crowd that just decided to compound in and jump the gun. Not what we want, huh? We were already prepared last night to move up. So to the extent that anyone got bitten here, I'd say bitten in the market in terms of this specific move. Just easy goes it. I'm going to tell you in terms of a general preparation. Is this and I'm not hearing anyone that's saying that they got bitten. I don't know. I think a few of you were further in the money right now. That's not what we necessarily want to see from BTC. We did kind of discuss it's not unheard of that Bitcoin would have a little bit of a what we say, just some price action on the weekends, but it would just surprise me if it were just completely throttled to the upside right now, and that's just the truth, right? In terms of its prior history, we've had a few strong pumps on the weekend, 1.44%. Everybody's looking at this. They just got in and they're like, the market's going to take my money again. Always be prepared to move to the upside and to the downside, right? That was the notion from last night. So to the individuals who were already prepared, to VIP, I want to say, what's up? Shout out. You probably didn't get eaten, get your lunch eaten or lunch taken here in terms of this specific move. Not exactly kind. Bitcoin is known for not being extremely kind. You guys know that. As I lay through some additional, resistance to support features, we almost have to become a little bit creative in terms of what could have been the interrupter here, right? Not necessarily an attractive move. Bottom line, the buyers didn't have control in terms of continuing to push the price up. So I'll say this in terms of, and it'd be interesting to go back to some of the other charts right now, and let's do kind of a diagnostic on it. I'll say this as well. I've seen Doge and a few other coins that are kind of acting like a precursor to the moves of BTC. And as you see the altcoins really take some power out of the market right now, or take power from the market and establish precedent right now, you're starting to see BTC do this not infrequently. Now, BTC has had some nice moves, boom, boom, to the downside, to the upside, in terms of trade opportunities. We're on this level of support. You guys know that during that stream. So that was a nice pickup. You guys probably woke up that next morning like, bam, well, we're in the money if you guys picked up that target. This is just kind of really, this would be expressive of when I say catchy price action. Yes, this would be catchy price action that we would look at in terms of the potential to, establish, the patterns. We look on the left on Doge. You see Doge still performing quite well in terms of a very similar pattern with this line of support, line of resistance. Doge is still up and out. So this is the dynamic when we see BTC take a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a back break to some of the altcoins that are really, really running. And we see a strong day in the altcoins. Look at Rose. That's definitely a coin that we've discussed frequently in the past, like Rose doing very well. Near doing very well. Cello we discussed last night. Cello's up about 5 to 6% since we discussed it last night. Nice coins like Floki, Baby, Doge, this, that, Immutable X. Everything's 7, 8, 9, 10% up. We have a full additional list that's kind of the full list from Binance that I can go through. I kind of choose not to go through all of the coins. We really do I'd say a proper job here, as well as can be expected in terms of reviewing the coins. They've either got some mass following in terms of they're a very popular coin, meaning they have a very big buyer base, potential buying base, or they've got in there, along with, I'd say, some utility management team and a dev team. They're working on the framework of what their coin is. Some of the other coins, as we get into them, honestly, if I go to the Binance list just quickly, let's look at the Binance list. This is nothing new, you guys know, in terms of a potential breakout, fake out for BTC. We were just covering that on the top side of that specific rising wedge. This is not at the top of a rising wedge per se. I can look at this from a few different angles and see what might have caused that specific fake out. It just happens with BTC. If you're new to BTC, be prepared, right? And the ones who are kind of prepared ahead of time, again, as we were talking about our lower targets down here, and I was talking about AJ having a nice entry at this lowest around this lowest level range in this zone. As you look at this, VIP. He's completely smooth with this, no problem, no worries. Maybe trading a bit with a smaller, maybe that's kind of his alpha that he's carrying right now into this zone. But maybe the smaller I'd say moves, maybe even more aggressive moves that he chooses to do with maybe even a leverage coin, etc. He's able to capture, let's say, the ideal position to capture here was that downside target move here and around that 100 that we were on. That the range, I'm going to say the range macro right? Fibonacci. That was the range macro Fibonacci in terms of that pickup. So, it's kind of like Duke lost last night. They lost. I went to Duke University, so amid some other schools. And as we look at this range from the low to the high here, that was the pickup. As we look at this specific move, the nice strong move to the upside, it just went to the 23.6. Bam, no problem, right? So again, those who entered here and are waiting for the potential to continue to move up, you're in the comfort zone, right? The ones who are needing to be aggressive now, and I just think of that, and I repeat this quite frequently, just so that you know, guys. I repeat this because the ones that are in, it's kind of like, you would think like the ones who are in the know and the ones who aren't in the know. It's not that complicated, but, I do repeat this just so that we reframe around hitting your targets at the lower levels. There's nothing like it. You establish position at a lower cost basis, at a lower price per coin, more coins, and by the time you're up in this area when the rest of the world may be panic-stricken, freaking out, and this is the next big trade, we're not. We're a little bit smoother on the dial, right? It's just it's a lot smoother to go through things after you hit these lower targets. So to the extent that anyone just got caught up in a little bit of a fake out on BTC, hey, that's okay. Make sure you watch all our streams. Last night we were talking about the ability to go up in this zone, so you'd be comfortably in the money right now in any kind of trade if you were already pre-positioned. So make sure you have those notifications on. And let's see what we got in the chat server. Let me see what's going on with you guys in this VIP weekend stream. Hope everybody's doing good. Aaron, what are you doing? Aaron is here. Aaron is here? No way. This is unbelievable. I got to check in with the actual statistics desk on this one. We have Aaron in the house. This is just nice. I can't believe that Aaron has decided to grace us with the presence here. Let me check. I want to take a look here in terms of some of the details behind. I was just looking in the chat and I see Aaron's here. I'm like, what's up? Very, very nice. Let me look in the details here and find where. I don't want to pick out when you were last here, Aaron, but to the extent that would be interesting, I wouldn't mind doing that. Let me see if I can actually pull that up and see when was Aaron last here. Now, it may be the fact as well. When was the last time that we streamed just kind of midday on Sunday? We like to do that, so I should maybe do that a little bit more often. We will make sure and do that. We know that we just recently had Robert join Basecamp. We've had a few people join Basecamp. We just invited Lanchester, and we also invited Crypto Cash to join at least our base camp, if not the additional levels. But Aaron is a relatively new base camper. So I'm going to say that, relatively new base camper. So Aaron, we appreciate Aaron being here. Let's see, fibs are honestly the best. Yes, they are, from Pathfinder. Aaron, how have you been? I got to say, how are you? Let's see. How have you been, and how has your trading been? Let me put that in the chats real quickly so that we can get into the details. We really look forward to you upgrading to VIP. We are having a blast in the back. We have a good time, guys. We go through new coins. We went through a sheep killer earlier today, and I was like, I got to get this out to everybody. VIP, we're going to focus a little bit more on those brand new before they launch. I'm just getting used to L-Bank. I'm just getting used to L-Bank and the whole possibility that we can try to kind of arbitrage, get involved in those coins early, etc. In terms of some of those newer coins, we want to do that. 2 coins have gone 30x. 2 coins that I know of have gone 30x in a 4 to 5 week time frame. You guys are aware of that? 30x and I'm seeing a different dynamic in terms of startup coins. I want to let you guys know this year I'm seeing a different dynamic in terms of those startup coins. First of all, I'm going to put the L-Bank, I'm going to pin that to the top there. I want to let you guys know on L-Bank, they just had, for instance, the Sheeb Killer. Look at this. I didn't know this was out yet, guys. I didn't know this was out. I want to go ahead and share this with you. Very interesting. In terms of this Sheeb Killer, I'm going to bring it up because they have its QOM Shiba Predator. Look at this. It's got the Doge. It's got the Sheeb, which killed Doge. They're trying to be this new Sheeb Killer. Now, the only thing I found really interesting about this, I want to let you guys know. The thing I found interesting about this was 7,530 likes, 5,585 retweets. That's a big community, guys. That's decent numbers. You guys who pay attention, that's a lot more than we're seeing on some other key coins. I think that's more than you're seeing, and I don't know. You guys let me know. But on average, for a lot of the Sheeb Sheeb actual what we say tweets that are coming out. So we'll pay attention to that without a doubt. Big Sheeb fans, big Doge fans, to the extent that someone wants to come out and become a killer of Sheeb or a killer of anything, we're going to pay attention to it. QOM. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Whoa. It's a hawk. Huh? He's going to take the Sheeb out. Just have to say, they're doing something. 54,000 followers. And with these numbers, I always pay attention to the numbers in terms of this. And guys, just pay attention to it. When I see, 2,517, when I see that in terms of the number of people who've commented on something, that's a community, right? When I see 7,000 plus likes, 5,500 retweets, that's a community in the making, right? So we're paying attention to that. It's available on LBank. In terms of it, understand it's dangerous. It's a new coin, right? It could be worthless. So I always tell people that on new coins, I just might as well say it's maybe coffee money. We talk about just the price of a cup of coffee. If you guys are interested in that, pretty good. And prove it good, Aaron. Want to make sure also, Aaron, want to make sure that you have your book, John J. Murphy, Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets. And that's real important for all the base campers and the VIP. A lot of the VIP are highly proficient in technical analysis, like without a doubt, like semi-pro, pro level, seriously proficient in terms of TA. They're tough to beat. I'll just tell you that much. In terms of the base campers, if you guys are looking towards developing that proficiency, the book is kind of step one. It'll cover the patterns with the appropriate language carried therewith, to where you won't need to be confused or really rely on an outside source. You won't need to Google or YouTube the answer to something. And a lot of people think they're doing their homework. They're going to go on YouTube and find the answer on YouTube. Guys, I'm going to tell you, if you get that book, that's a solid mainstay book. You won't have to go to YouTube to figure out the answer. You can literally look at a page of a book that's like internationally, institutionally recognized on like Wall Street and everything else, in terms of what that specific pattern that you're trying to trade, what that pattern means, right? And what are the ins and outs? What are the risks? What are potential rewards, the measurements, the targets, etc. So we just very much want our base camp, anyone affiliated with this channel, to be able to do your own TA. And at the end of the year, think of what you get. You guys know this. At the end of the year, you get, we got a good trade group. We're having a blast in terms of Bitcoin spike. We like catching the spikes. That's from the bottom. We have the lowest target, and this is to our credit. And let's just talk about this on Doge. Very nice. Predator or not, right? We would talk about the 86. Played perfectly. That's my special Fibonacci level. The low on Doge thus far this year, bam, is the 86. We've been talking about that. Believe it or not, guys, that's been a level of consideration since way back here. Bam, 76 cents. So can you imagine looking at all this price action and knowing, bam, the exact, we're going to hit this exact low down here. Can you imagine just knowing this feature and this specific price, the 86% retracement, bam, all the way back up here, right? That's a big deal, particularly for people who were maybe over involved in the price action towards the top. And it's difficult when you get into a coin. You kind of need a group around you to kind of remind you. It's like, hey, you gotta have that cash, that reserve cash for those backup considerations. Yep, you got the TA book. Love it. Completely agree with the teachings. Awesome, man. Good to hear. That is so great to hear. We can't wait for you to be a part of VIP. And I just mean that with all, and the VIP guys are like, yep, he's probably going to upgrade. Because, there's information about stocks or equities. There's information about futures. There's information about all different kinds of stuff. Not that it applies, but I tell you, you're also going to turn on CNBC and you're going to see them talking about stuff. You're going to be like, huh, that's interesting. If I wanted to know about that, or Bloomberg, or some other real kind of financial news situation, what would we get into is the notion that you have the answers there for you, and not that you need to go to, no one wants to go to finance school, guys. I'm with you. I'm not going to finance school. I don't want to go to finance school, right? Keep me out of the accounting. You guys have no idea. Me with accounting, forget about it, huh? Double entry, whatever. Okay, no. That's not going to happen here. Give me about 2 seconds. Quick sip of water. In terms of the framework, though, if I can find the source, and I'm saying the source, guys, not a source, the source. Looking at a capitulation here for Dogecoin. In addition to that capitulation, let's go 5 minute on both of these. But if I can find the source, right, on the way that the pattern is supposed to be handled, what the implications are, what are the caveats, what's the appropriate way. Does this pattern, for instance, require let's say, or any pattern that I'm dealing with, does it require a confirmation? Is it literally, does the source, denote the fact that it needs to be a confirmation or not? I try and get detailed on the specific framework of what I'm looking at. It doesn't always work out. I'll say that doesn't always work out in terms of sometimes you'll bypass a confirmation when it looks like one is indicated or otherwise. But if you're to that level of detail, you're way ahead of the group, guys. You know that. So looking at and it's just nice to have it's nice to have the answer. And I tell you guys, I've known like the top trader on Wall Street. He'll point to that book you guys have and be like, oh, that book. I'm like, yeah, that book. He's like that, and he lets me know that's on every single desk of every top trader on Wall Street, period. So when they're looking at the patterns, and you got to say, guys, now with institutional levels of concern in crypto, and I mean trade desks in and around Wall Street, guys, you got some big hedge funds that go into, last year went into shorts on Doge. Do you guys remember that? There's some interest in terms of anything that's got a potential like that to affect some larger money outfits. You guys remember when someone moved in, I forgot who that was, decided to short Doge, and no one was happy, right? I think they got that right before the Saturday Night Live skit. Not sure about that. That was kind of a pain. Everybody knew that was just a pain, right? It's just a joke. It's just a joke, but it rifled through the market. Looking for that additional, I'd say some upgrades in Doge. Looks like the Doge community is looking at some upgrades in 2022. SHIB is certainly making its headway into quite a few different almost sectors, right? They're getting fully outfitted in terms of dev. DNT, AION, Audio, AIOC. DNT's up 100%. It's just there's so many coins to catch these. We had FXS yesterday. It was shot up 80%. We had focused on that precedingly. But to do this every day is just like, it's probably 6-7 hours of work to get through all the coins to find the very best pattern out of 6 hours. It's just a lot of work, guys. If we live at all aside from the charts, it becomes a lot of work. Inbox up again. Interesting. I've kind of looked at that a few times. Inbox up again to 20%. There's not many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on my list right now that are 20% above. We have a host of coins thereafter, say 5 to 10, around 10 that are up about 10%. So kind of a quiet day. Really a quiet day in the market. A few good movers. Kind of a quiet day overall though in the market. Looking at at Rose, looking at Cello, we covered last night. Near, of course, VIP in the back have been very fluid with Near. You guys know the Near project is very, very cool in terms of its just overall smooth look to it, right? We really like the design, the overall elements of the design are really, really nice. So looking at this pullback, not exactly what we wanted, right? I think that we have been juked a bit by the market. Now, with that, it looks like we're still holding this little carving pattern of holding to the upside. We've been in this specific zone here for a while. Okay, we've been in this zone for the last day and 5 hours, really look at this, guys, day and 4 hours. We've been just carving and pushing kind of to the upside here. So not ideal, but I would just say the preference would have been to break through this line of resistance, really maintain some power and move to the upside. To the extent, and I'm going to say this, to the extent, I don't like to talk like this, but to the extent that the market is looking at this specific pattern framework here, I was excited about this move because I wanted to get past this notion of the descending triangle. You guys know that. I wanted to get past that like nobody's business. You guys understand. Bearish indication, that descending line of resistance, the flat bottom. Anytime you see a flat bottom of support, market, guys, seriously, anytime you see a flat bottom of support, market. Anytime you see a flat top of resistance, market. Okay, the flat bottom can be indicative of downward pressure. Boom. The flat top can be indicative. Okay, flat top can be indicative of upward pressure, and bam, to the upside. Okay, so in terms of that, looks like Doge, you saw a recompletion or a return to, if you look at Doge, very interesting. We'll note this for the record, this specific return to that triangulation. Not an unfamiliar concept whatsoever. Return at least to, if you guys watch the channel a lot, you guys know this, return at least to prior the preceding, let's say preceding level of resistance, bam, to try and confirm that as a level of support and thereafter move up, we would go as a fallback feature to this level of support here, knowing that ultimately the buyers needed to step in for the completion of the ascending triangle, right? That amplitude move to the top, and I'll just copy and paste that to get that amplitude, bam, on the left-hand side. Guys, this always looks better on a big screen TV, right? Don't be zoomed in too much on the cell phone. Get a big screen TV, be able to run your your trade station independently of the stream, right? Put it on big screen TV. You'll see the technicals. You'll appreciate things a lot more. And yeah, that's just kind of how this is all geared and intended to function, just so that you know. So if you're not having the best experience visually, throw it up on a big screen TV. That's not too difficult these days. And it's not, those are pretty easy to come by these days, even a 30, 40 inch, I don't know, something like that, just maybe even another monitor or something by your desk, but big screen is preferable. Put some plasma into it if you can. Just those guys, they do the best, guys. The guys that I see on big screen TVs, I say that all the time. They do the best. They just do, without a doubt. They've got it. I mean, it's just the answer is right there in front of them, glowing in like 5K, 5K UHD, like really nice surround sound. Maybe like it's working, right? In terms of this feature, I would have liked to have picked up above and beyond the level of resistance, and we need to conquer this. I'm going to tell you guys, we need to conquer this level, because this bottom line support, the flat line of support, I don't want that to weigh on the traders. You guys know that. I just don't want that continually weighing on the traders. The 1 hourly is an interesting time frame to look at, because yes, we still did technically fake out, but looking at the 1 hourly time frame, it was close, right? And the lower time frames, of course, will show a dramatic version of what we just saw on BTC. But even on the 1 hourly, and that's noted, on the 1 hourly, we were up and out of this specific, let's say this specific line of resistance on these two hits. We would have one more variable line in addition there too. Okay, and I've been noting this as I've been getting the charts to the individuals in the background. We would have one more additional line, variable line to the upside on the hourly. Again, not everything is governed by the hourly. We would go to the candle wicks on the lower time frame, etc., to really be able to, I'd say, fully explore the price action. And yeah, but you have to dig in. Look at the hourly on Doge. You see the hourly on Doge, let's say, versus the let me get into the, what was I just at? The 4 hourly. 4 hourly shows straight up, right? The hourly shows close. I'd love to find a flat top. I'm looking for a flat top here real quickly in terms of a flat top on any of these. Nope, we have an ascending line of resistance. It's close. It looks like we're going to be put in the threshold of the formulation of a bull pennant. I think that is in the process of forming. So hope your weekends are going well. I got to say, hope you guys are having a good weekend, right? Hope you have a good week lined out with work, with family, with everything, with the big JOB if you got one, or trading. If you guys are trading this week, hopefully you've got your coins lined up. You've got your targets, right? Always ready to hit those targets. Maybe you have the optimal patterns that you have found on the different charts. You've done your research. We really try and do that in VIP. In the back, we had, I think we had, what do you think, guys? VIP, you guys let me know, but we had, I'd say at least five coins that went a good 20+%, some up to 80% max on some patterns that we had identified from. And you guys, I think, will agree with that. We had from, what was it from? And just solid coins, Solana, right? I think even Dusk we looked at. As you guys know, Near we looked at. I'll flip through them real quickly. I'll flip through them on the left-hand side. Let's do that real quickly. Let me go ahead and get back to BTC here on the right. I just don't want to miss anything on BTC. If it starts to traject back up and over, which it has been known to do, kind of flirt with the idea of heading out to the north, heading to the upside, and then retract a bit and then head back up and out. See if it can shake out some traders, right? So a little bit of a shakeout just went on with an attempt, fake out to the upside, and just recapitulation. And again, needing to really get up and beat this line of resistance. We don't like this descending triangle. We prefer the specifics of the, I say this implied, and I'm going to say implied, okay, bull pennant to the upside, because it's implied due to the fact that we only have really one good hit along the line of support. We would prefer another hit on the line of support. You would think, well, it's going down, it's not good, but we would just prefer it. It'd be great. It would be great. I'll say this in terms of getting up and out and moving to the upside strongly. It's just there are orders here waiting. You guys, I mean, it's not even a question. Like if you choose not to have orders at that level, you're just choosing to not participate with others in the market. That's just the bottom line. And if you've chosen to be what would you say, a contrarian like that, then hey, maybe if that suits you well and you have the experience, kind of that pedigree in the market to be able to do that, you know what you're doing, go for it. I'm not gonna try and change your mind, but to the extent that you understand where the residual of the market participants are operating, it can be beneficial for you to understand that this would be the next logical step, this line of support, right, surrounding this or involved with this resistance to support, resistance to potential support. Just understand, if you see the price go to this level, you'll know why. If you see it go to this flat bottom support, you'll know why. So there are multiple levels of trade opportunities indicated for the traders. It is a situation where the guy who wants his whole account to function at one time on a specific trade in a specific direction, in a really raging market, you could do that. When the market dries up and it stops offering you that opportunity, it's going to be a little difficult, just bottom line. And most people who engage in trading to that extent, they know that, right? If you're just to slam around your whole account directionally, you know that. I mean, you know, it's like the market has got to be an unbelievable market to really do that. And when it dries up, that creates beyond some frustration. It creates some problems with the probabilities, right? Because the probability is going to be that you're going to need the backup, which I know you definitely will hear from me if you're discussing trading at all, that backup, and you just want to be able to deploy that at a lower level. So looking at Doge on the left, still performing well. Looking at a potential for a pennant formation on the lower time frame. Let's say the 30 is a little bit difficult there. Let's go to the 5 minutes. Okay, the 30 I don't like it. Just note the difference on the time frames. Look at the 30, the ascending line of resistance. This would be bearish, right? As you look at this, that's just bearish, right? It just is. You don't want an upward sloping channel. If you can get away with it, guys, you don't want an upward sloping channel. But look at the 5 minute, upward sloping channel, 30 minute, 5 minute, descending, beautiful, bullish, right? So you always got to check those time frames. Always clicking in and checking with, I say 2022 checker candle wicks, period. As if we didn't in 2021, but it's just become essential as the market's been a little bit trickier this year, been a little bit more dynamic in terms of this retracement. Has lasted a little bit longer. You guys know on BTC, it's just lasted a little bit longer. Technically speaking, in terms of the actual duration of the time frame that it has spent, it's lasted longer. We can go through those exact measurements. Let's go through a few that we have covered in the VIP. NEAR has been one that we definitely covered in VIP. Want to go through and shout out to the VIP. Just a cool project. NEAR is a great project. Really, really like it. This ascending, right, the ascending triangle, this flat top resistance. Again, always looking for a flat top resistance, ascending line of support. Bam, amplitude move to the upside, very well achieved, and pushing up and beyond, very bullish. At some point, you're going to be looking at the overall formation of the pattern. Look at the chart. It's a nice chart, developed into a nice chart. It's great that we caught this bottom line pattern for this price action to the upside. And just congrats to the VIP in the back. Look at that, a 43% move. 43% move. That is sweet, guys. That's what it's all about. Congratulations, good job, and a quality project to invest in. I'll just say that for me personally. I just think it's a very nice project to consider, at least put amongst the ranks for the investment, kind of that next level of investment that really is hitting the market right now in terms of the developing projects. So looking at NEAR protocol, 41.5%. Rose has been an oldie but goodie. You guys know I keep talking about Rose. It's up today, 13.65%. Would be nice to regain that channel formation. This support, right, could act as a resistance. We'd like to regain the mainline channel here in terms of that price action. Will be dynamic. Looking at the candle wicks, you'll see that candle wick framework in terms of bringing up that line of resistance. It won't be as apparent on the specific line chart. So make sure that you check out the candle wicks on Rose to the extent that you are trading such. We went over Cello last night, drew a little bit of an extended flag, like overextended flag to the downside in terms of the formation. But last night they were telling me just the guys in the chat, everything else, you guys were telling me, like, look, Cello looks like it's going to break out. So I was like, okay, let's look at Cello. So it did break out quite well, about an additional 6% after the stream. Congrats to the guys who got involved in Cello. We did not bring that earlier up in the back, but it's performed well, up 11.69%. Let's see what we have here. Aaron, I was in the TA book myself last night. Bam, good job. What's up, Freddie in the house? Freddie, VIP. Got a shout out to Freddie. What's up, Freddie, my man? Freddie, boom. And just so you guys know, the pattern framework, if you guys can read about the actual patterns, read them. Don't just look at them. Read what it says. I know it's a pain, guys. Read what they say about the patterns. Read about the measurements. Read about, generally such and such is bearish. Generally such and such is bullish. Just make sure you read, as a starter for the book, it's great to read cover to cover. But read, if you can, the 5-6 pages around every pattern. It's hugely beneficial. You guys know that. Hugely, hugely beneficial. So I look forward to you guys doing that without a doubt. So looking at the framework of Immutable X, I bring that up because the guys in the back have been trading Immutable X for a while now, haven't we? It's been a number of weeks now. One of the favored coins to trade in the back. I'm not sure why. Just it caught on with the pattern early, and it's been pretty good in terms of the overall. Let's see. Let's just measure the overall here in 30 days, up about 130%. Not too bad. This is the chart for the Shiba Predator Killer I talked about earlier on. It's done pretty well. It hasn't been on exchange that long, 5 days, 140%, but looks like it may have some attention in terms of Shiba Predator. GMT was one that we had discussed early on. GMT actually went 30x on, and this was one of the dynamics. I didn't finish this statement earlier when I was talking about the potential, but yeah, 30x, just beautiful on GMT. Step in. As you would look into the dynamic I'm seeing on the newer coins this year is that a lot of them are getting listed across exchange. Cross-exchange listings across all of the exchanges they're getting listed. So that's very nice to see that. It's very very impressive to see that. It's been a little bit tricky here on GMT. I know that Pathfinder's been trading GMT. He likes to trade GMT. You have a descending triangle that just got recouped, right? It's a little bit of an ascension, but not much. It's just a tough pattern to look at on GMC. Would love for it to beat a descending triangle. Tough. So BTC in a potential descending triangle, GMT in a descending triangle. Very interesting. Mina, another one of the coins that VIP have been trading in the back. It's done very well. Nice bull flag. Didn't it have that? Nice bull flag. And just to cover the price action on Mina, you guys have been trading that about 75% in the last 19 days or so. Phantom got up and going and is trying to recover well. And we really want these coins to get back up and over this preceding high here. Really crucial. Great pickup for anyone who picked up Phantom lower, right? A good pickup on a great project, but 50% in about 3 weeks, right? Doge, we'll go through Doge. Of course, the guys in the back are trading Doge. Without a doubt, they're trading Doge. That's just, honestly, you'd like GMT cheaper. There you go. Sounds like VIP, bro. What's up? Bam. Nice to hear that. I always like to hear that. Settling at 86. I know I want to get it at the 86. You're not wrong either, huh? To put that at the 86 on GMT after a 30x coin, that type of price action. So that's the one dynamic we're seeing in terms of the newer coins that are being exposed and getting some of this incredible price action, is that some of them at least are achieving cross-exchange distribution in terms of their offering. It's on every exchange, bam, within a 24-hour time period. Ape just did that, right? Ape was all over the place with 3L and 3S already set up and built into the framework. That's pretty sweet, guys. That's nice to get on every exchange, right? Bam, all the way across the board. Anybody can trade it on leverage, etc. Just it's nice to see that dynamic start to take hold in the market this year. We didn't have that last year. You guys know that. Last year, it was like we had to find the exchange it was on, or this one's on this exchange or not on the other exchange. We had to kind of streamline across exchanges, but we're seeing that this year, and we're seeing some phenomenal results on those coins. RBLS, you guys know, just to talk about it, is 30x Rebel Robots. You guys see that? And they had the NFT look. They had the NFT look. If you guys didn't see Rebel Robots, go to the website, scroll down. As you start seeing the Rebel Robot pictures, you'll see, yeah, they have that kind of quirky, the specific quirky, kind of, weird, wild NFT look to some of those bots. So that was a 30X. I think that was just on Gate, though I need to check the liquidity checker. I will, let me pull this over to the side because it's, to the extent it's still in play. Hopefully anyone caught the FXS. I've been discussing FXS frequently on the streams. If you guys have been paying attention to those streams, rewatch them if you can in terms of picking up on any new coins, etc. But yes, I've been discussing FXS heavily. Let's go through the FXS chart and see what it did yesterday. Did you guys take a look at what FXS did? Frax shares, huge move, guys. Very, very nice move. One of the biggest moves we've seen in a single day from any coin. Legitimately, I can honestly say that. You guys, I think you'll agree. On the daily, look at the candle wick. You guys see this huge move that FXS made? Look at that candle. Bam. Move to the upside. Look at this on the daily. Bam. A move of 82% in one day. Bam. That is the type of price action I've been discussing when I say when it gets up and going, just watch out. It's really got the ability to over-impress in terms of its price action. So 80% yesterday. I brought FXS to the VIP in the back, and I've discussed it several times on stream. Since this breakout moment here of that descending triangle, which can serve as a bottom, so you have the opportunity to, I say, designate this as kind of a double or triple bottom, right? In addition to the descending triangle framework, which did play as a target to the upside, in addition to the extra price action. But 71% of the VIP in the back who decided to trade FXS, and just one of my favorite coins to bring to you guys, because even along the top here, guys, you'll remember this. We were talking about the fact this could go, right? This was in the bottom portion here. This was a specific bull flag. It will ignore, and I've gotten used to this on FXS. It will ignore the defects in the pattern, and I've come to learn that about FXS. You guys remember this bull flag formation here early in. Or actually, it was, when was that around? Later in 2020. We had some preceding work here earlier in 2021, but later, this specific larger bull flag, that was quite a run there, guys. That was a nice move where it just, once it gets going, it doesn't want to quit. That was a 70% move from this specific, and just understand the price action on this coin. Whether or not you like the project, just understand the price action. You can dig up the project that you like in a minute, but pay attention to something that likes to shoot up 70-80%, right? As we look at from this this formation here, we're looking at a potential bull pennant continuation to the upside, and again, it just decided to crank to the upside. If you'll remember, if you were a part of that price action, that was real dramatic. Bam, 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 just really just like this. Bam, 80% to the upside. This is about 20 to 30% from that bottom line support here. However, if you rode that up, that was another 65%. So, another moving coin, but it gets explosive. So to the extent that that is agreeable to you, explosive price action, just be able to handle it, right? Don't be overexposed, right? Enjoy the price action, but don't count on it. That may be the best thing in the world you could say with crypto. You want to do a 2x, a 5x, a 10x, great. Don't count on it. Go for it, but don't count on it, right? You can do it. It happens, and don't shy away from it either, right? Some of the strongest, guys and champs we have around here, like Josh on the bottom, he knows. He'll definitely tell you don't count on it. Angel on the top, in terms of top VIP, he's been around. He's been invested in Bitcoin since under $8, guys, between $7 and $8, and he'll tell you probably, don't count on it. He'll talk about bad trades, the fact that it just happens in this market. So if you have kind of precious cash, precious capital, just be aware of the fact that crypto can run it in either direction. Okay, can run it in either direction. As we look at Ethereum, level of resistance, and we want to shout and say happy birthday to Angel. It's his birthday today, guys. Hope you're doing well, Angel. We hope you're doing well with family and friends, and yeah, appreciate you staying in touch with me, brother. In terms of this line of support, line of resistance across the top, for Ethereum, you had such a nice symmetrical triangulation acting as a coil. You guys know my top target within a few. What was this? Within. Let's just measure this. This was within $500 of the top. Not exactly on the top, but it was close enough within this formation to see this wasn't going to go. I did call the top of Ethereum while they were still in a bull pennant. That's important. You were still in a potential continuation move to the upside on Ethereum. I called it at this level here. Bam. That was going to be the top. That was the fifth wave to the top. So amidst this possibility for the move to the upside and offering you essentially saving a 50% drop to the downside, which is a value zone for Ethereum, right? But to see that top play out, and I appreciate and shout out to the Elliott Wave International. Thank you for the response on the tweet that I sent on the top of Ethereum back in that zone at 4,352. So seeing this specific framework work out for Ethereum is important, okay, because it's such a nice pattern, right? When we look at the, let's look at the macro real quickly on BTC. Let's go to the daily, right? As we look at the daily, we don't quite have, let's look at the, we go to the 4 hourly. Let's see what the 4 hourly looks like on BTC versus Ethereum. Let's just look at the market. Let's just learn from the market for a minute, see what is going to express itself technically in terms of the technicals to us, something that we can make some analogies, some comparative technical diagnostics in terms of looking at the left-hand side, top line resistance, bottom line support on Ethereum, top line resistance, bottom line support on BTC. Now, the advantage that Ethereum has over BTC, as you look at these two patterns, the advantage that Ethereum has over BTC, as I just take and lay over the Ethereum pattern over the BTC pattern, okay? And the advantage that we would see is that the structure of the support line is better defined on Ethereum. This specific structured framework. So sometimes when you see a price go down, and Aaron, shouting out to Angel, appreciate that, Aaron. That's very nice. I will make sure that he gets that. He's probably got, I think he has a ton of family in and all different kinds of stuff going on today, but I'll make sure he knows that you specifically said happy birthday today. And I know a lot of the VIP already shouted out to him a couple of days ago. I'll put happy birthday. And let me do that as well with you. Very cool for you to shout out to him. I'll make sure that he gets that in no unshort order. I'll make sure he gets that. So looking at the difference here on the Ethereum chart, this level of support is much better reinforced on Ethereum. This level of support we come into near action here in terms of the recontact of this level of support. That's just more clearly defined. Very nice, right? BTC is not, it didn't retouch this level of support. I would have loved to have seen BTC just touch this level of support, right? Would have taken out a lot of guesswork, because you guys know what we had was and I will say for the record, okay, for the record, we can go ahead and designate, well, Ethereum had a 1, 2, 3 across the top. BTC had a 1, 2, 3 across the top, right? So Ethereum did not retouch in terms of this specific formation here. It laid over back towards the specific line of support rather than retouch the resistance, right? So BTC touched the resistance instead of this support. Now what this did, it kind of just left open the possibility that the traders in Ethereum, everyone still had this strong line of resistance across the top. On BTC, it kind of threw things a little bit sideways, because we had some different patterns, mid-level patterns, that created a little bit of a level of uncertainty. As you guys look at this descending, the descending triangle that just got beaten. You guys see, to the upside, and we covered that clearly. You guys know that without getting too pattern creative, right? Too creative with our patterns. It's clearly right in the midst of the triangulation. This one feels like another touchdown into the level of support. So the reinforced hit along the support is something that's, I think, an advantage for Ethereum in terms of the overall pattern framework. I'm not a big fan of Ethereum, just so as you guys know. I won't denounce it. I won't be derogatory towards it at all. Just in terms of trading it, it's just kind of slow to me. That's the bottom line. BTC, when BTC rifles, it rifles. That's what we like. That's why we're called Bitcoin Spike. We caught this specific move down here when the whole world thought that the life and beyond for Bitcoin could be gone. Bam, in the back we caught this. That's when we changed the name to Bitcoin Spike. Like, this is cool. This is going to work. If it wants to scream to the upside like this, and the fact that we caught that in the back was just huge. Telling everybody in this zone, good time to buy BTC, and that was a nice move for heavy capital. 85% move to the upside. Very important. So looking at the framework here, it's just nice to see this specific framework just really well laid out on Ethereum. It's almost a perfect textbook example of a symmetrical triangulation, a coil reversal. Now, technically, it's supposed to be a continuation pattern by the probabilities. However, it can operate as a coil reversal. So we're always prepared for that. This bounce, a heavy pickup, a potential heavy pickup with a possible stop underneath this line of support, right? to the upside, and just looking for this to be a reversal. So just remind yourselves of that. Anytime you have a potential symmetrical triangulation, some people may play this a little bit heavier in this zone. If they've traded this hit and this hit, they may play this a little bit heavier in this zone. Okay, with the notion that it could turn into a specified coil reversal. Coil meaning symmetrical triangle, just looks like a coil, right? In terms of that reversal function. So this would be an indicated potential heavier level, not just on Ethereum right there, but on any particular coil reversal or symmetrical triangle reversal. And that's just because that's the last real chance for you to enter back into if it were to move to the upside. So always prepared for that possibility. You guys got that? Let's see what we got in the chats, if anything. We're good on that. Looking at BTC, let's go back to Doge. If there's any other coins real quickly, I want to cover SHIB, see what SHIB is doing amidst this march to the downside, looking for a potential for a breakout for SHIB. I want to see this breakout, right? As we talk about a coil reversal, this is not exactly what we want in terms of a coil reversal, right? And I'll expand this for 2 seconds to look at SHIB. We have really interesting on SHIB. Now, in terms of the diagnostics here, it looks a little bit messy. Just look beyond the symmetrical triangulation. Look at what's denoted. I think you guys will learn something very important here. Look at the framework, and I laid this out to the VIP early. You guys know this on VIP. You're like, yep, absolutely. London said it. In terms of this first line channel, bam, we saw a repeat of this channel formation, okay, a repeat of this channel. If you copy that from the level of support to the level of resistance, particularly on the candle wicks, bam, if you stack that, boom, to the next level, to this outside, to the exterior, you saw us catch right along that level. Very interesting, huh? Just the measured movement of the channel formation, bam, stacked on the outside. That's where that next level of resistance was. Now, if you did that again, bam, to the outside, you'll find again that this has interacted. I've stacked this. You guys have had my charts for a bit in the back on SHIB, but it's nice to see that again in terms of that additional stack to this lateral stack. Now, it was not it was not an amplitude move. Okay, it was not a measured move amplitude to the upside like this preceding one conformed quite well to that. This was a lateral stack. Cardano also did this in terms of laterally stacking. Okay, it's a projected duration and pricing behavior. Right, we have a duration in terms of the pricing behavior moves, and in terms of these lines of resistance, they're just repeating right now. We can get into some Fibonacci's on them. I'm preferring not to do that right now. In terms of that, we also have a line of resistance across the top. We have, in terms of descending, we have a line of an ascending line of support. Now we could project this in terms of a reversal here. Okay, we can project this as a reversal here if it were to follow in line with what BTC has just done. The difficulty here would be the measurement, and people are going to be they're going to want to go with this measurement in terms of the potential move to the upside. I'm going to let you guys know. They're going to want to know. Everyone wants to know, right? In terms of, is it going to? Because it'll probably be a huge move. Let's go ahead and look at this. That's an option for the market. I'm going to tell you it's an option for the market. Okay, I do have, for some reason, I have that marked out at about 48, 47. And there and about. So I have that already marked up about the, what was that, quad ot? Just 4 zeros, quad ot 48, 47. That's an option, guys. You know, that's an option in terms of the move for SHIB. Now, this is another option. This is where it gets a little bit dicey. This is another more realistic option for people who want to play a little bit more conservatively. SHIB doesn't always require people to play conservatively. You guys know when Angel showed up after New Year's or so, again, I think he'd been busy, etc. I always say if Angel's busy, he's busy. That's it, he's busy. In terms of this, though, SHIB went up like 80% in fine order. We had focused on it just a bit, and it really screamed to the upside. It was nice, just screaming to the upside. In terms of the different measurements that you would have here, the more that you gain the conformance of a symmetrical triangulation and the classic feature with the necessary hits 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3 along the bottom. If we were to look at this as we just went through, and you have to go to the candle wicks on this, okay? Go to the candle wicks, and that may even adjust your amplitude. You may want to be a little bit more aggressive on this. It also may adjust your breakout. Pay attention to that along the top side for your breakouts. Always 2022, look at your candle wicks. But to the extent that we have I'd say a multitude of potential targets to the upside. Just understand Some people will play this conservatively. Some people will play this aggressively, and it has the potential upon breakout of this with the interceding or intermediary preceding highs. We do have the potential for a breakout from the current price. We have a potential for either a 50% move, a 72% move, 70% move, or an 80 to 85% move. So we'll keep an eye on this, particularly as it's breaking out. I'll definitely set my alert for that, so VIP in the back, everyone will be aware of that breakout on SHIB. It's just as it's formulating this triangulation and getting into the real scope here, it's just a lot of time spent in this upward portion here to really justify this. We'd like it to really hammer to the downside. Bam. We'd like it to set that first pivot along the line of support. You guys know that. We want to set the pivot along the line of support, then bam, to resistance, support, boom, up and out. So this long feature of a kind of this trail ride, just real slow and easy, all the way in from this level of resistance. It's just barely slowly going down. We want it to hammer down, bam. That's where we'd like our first pivot, is to the level of support, to resistance, support. So this kind of muddies up the water in terms of an upside projection. It's not as clean as we would like to see SHIB, as SHIB has been extremely clean previously in terms of this specific preceding descending triangle across the top. We saw that without doubt. We noted that, and we also noted the specific play to the upside. So you guys did well on SHIB. You should have made some money in 2021 just paying attention to our videos, our quick take videos. I always appreciate it if you guys would just hit the like button on that. Just lets me know that you guys are watching. Like, sometimes like they want to know. They some of them will do it, some of them won't, but I'm like, hit the like button. That's what we like. We are, as creators, our YouTube creation deal, we're supposed to get likes on those. So sometimes I don't even like doing them. You guys know that. Sometimes I don't, to be honest. Like, I have to talk that quickly. I'm supposed to get this out in under 2 minutes. I don't want to do that. That's just boring, right? So I'm honest, guys, with it. Sometimes I don't like making them, so it kind of reinforces me, at least there. They don't like hitting the like button either. That's cool. We'll do it. Hey, what is up? Sean Moore in the house. Sean, what's up, brother? Nice to have you. Sean has just decided to join Base Camp. That is our initial level of membership. What's up, Sean? Want to say what's going on? How are you, brother? This is London with Bitcoin Spike. We're very excited to have you. And, Base Camp in the house. Base Camp. Boom, boom, boom. Sean, boom, boom, boom. There we go. Nice to have you, Sean. Welcome. Without a doubt, just want to welcome you to kind of the Bitcoin Spike, the crew here, the trading group. We have a great group, and feel free to make the let's go, Sean, says Freddie. Freddie's VIP. You guys can hang out and chat in that section now. And I had let a few guys know earlier on, Lanchester, it's just that easy, brother. Just bam, just hit it like that. Just hang out. Just make that space in there your own. In terms of that, Sean, we're excited to have you in 2022, looking to build the group, etc., and looking for great opportunities to bring to our base camp and to our VIP, like SHIB. We had a great time. Pathfinder also shouting out to Sean. And Sean, just make yourself at home in terms of the group. We focus, just so you know, Sean, on I'll just say we focus on the fundamentals of technical analysis. John J. Murphy. Fundamentals, what is it? John J. Murphy, there are 2 books. Let's just do the Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets. Buy it on Amazon, get it 2 to 3 day overnighted. That is the book. I want to make sure that you understand that is kind of the guide. And if anyone has a different guide in terms of TA, get it to me. That's fine. I'd love to review it. I've reviewed the majority of them. I may have bought and thrown away some of them. Okay, in terms of that's one that stays on my bookshelf and on a lot of the top traders' bookshelf. It's renowned as being the go-to source. As we look at kind of the complicated, then VIP will definitely say this, like in terms of like the complicated kind of evolution of this pattern framework here, in terms of this channel function, okay, into the channel function, repeat this specific channel function on SHIB, repeated, giving us this line of resistance. That's quite a line of resistance, guys. Okay, to go ahead and draw the channel framework on, that's a big deal. Bam, look at that channel framework to repeat out into. So the fact that we're repeating again for that third level, that third interval, just is very important to us. So we learn that kind of stuff. We spend a lot of time to that. And Aaron saying, welcome to the cool club. Yo, that's easy too, huh? No problem. Sean, tell us a little bit about your trading history, if you can, in the chats. There we go. I want to hear what you've been trading, and just glad to have more members. That's cool. It's just fun for us. We have a good group, and we spend a lot of late hours, so that you guys know that some days of the week VIP are up late. You guys know that trading, looking at charts, etc. Probably beginning when Asia is in the mix and capping out or tapping out, and around the time that London, all right, really gets going in terms of England, right, in terms of its market focus. And I don't say things like that too much because it sounds like Forex. A lot of times you get into Forex markets, they're really interested in the Asian markets, and they want the UK to open and this and that. It's like, oh, we don't have to follow Sydney to Japan to to Beijing. We don't have to do all that. It starts to sound a little bit like Forex, just so that you know that's kind of an indicative of Forex. But we do like the Asian markets with crypto are pretty solid. So we know that sometimes they can move the markets as opposed to the U.S. markets, a little bit dull sometimes. So yeah, spending those extra hours make a difference a lot of the time, as do those key technical analytics. And so, we're looking for a move. All right, that top line threshold, would love to see that back at 48. Quad odd 48, 47 would be the max. Okay, in terms of the preceding or the previous level would be that 39.60, and I say max, indicated by this move. Period. Indicated by the move technically. Can it overperform? Without a doubt. You've been watching on DL for a few weeks. Enjoy the content. Way to go. Appreciate that, Sean. Yeah, we got a good group, and it just got better with you joining. We appreciate you being a new member, and welcome to the club. That's just really cool. And yeah, you'll find that you want to be in VIP at some point, maybe already. But let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. I want to draw to the pivot lines. There we go. So a little message from Freddie in the back. Wanted to make sure I was available for that if he needed me. Freddie's a great VIP, great trader. Loves to trade. He's got good market instinct in terms of pickups, lower prices. He's just doing a really, really great job. And we'll go through DOT just a little bit on the left-hand side here, just to talk about what the price action has been since our video. And we just did a video, just brought it to the community in terms of this bull flag. What a slow mover, right? A slow mover. It's like it doesn't want to make too much money at once, right? It really doesn't right now. It's up 34% in 20 days. All right, so 34% in 20 days is kind of a slow mover. Some people have heavier positions. I think of Angel, etc. I think Angel is significantly involved in DOT. Just slow moving. 20 days, 34%, and kind of when a lot of coins are on bull run. Just remind yourselves on DOT, when DOT got up and really busy last year, it went up 400%, 400% plus once it really started to push and carve up. But you'll see there's just a difference this year right now as we would look at, just for right now, and it could change at any moment, guys. But as we look at this feature in here on DOT, just looking at it, it seems just a little bit less aggressive to the upside. It's just kind of carving and pushing sideways. This really got up, has some real nice vertical moves to it. You don't need that many days of 20%, maybe a couple of 30%, etc. And I want to welcome everybody to the new trading day. Welcome to the new trading day. As we look at this, I always say always to Angel and to the VIP, etc. I always welcome everybody to the new trading day. That's just one thing that we do, as we just had the day turn around on us, or flip over to the next trading day. It's just really important that we stay focused on that. And let me see if I can do welcome to the new trading day. Boom. And I always say that's exactly what the VIP get every day in the back chat rooms. Welcome to the new trading day. It's exactly what Angel gets every day on his chat in terms of a text message. It's just what we focus on. It's like, okay, welcome to the new trading day. That's what we like to do. So it's nice to be able to do that here on stream. Maybe I should make it a point that we do this a little bit more to be accommodating, because I know some people work, some people do some different stuff. Maybe it makes sense that we go ahead and stream a little bit earlier. It's just those late hours, man. I didn't understand when I first got into crypto. I'll tell you guys, like, man, I got to sleep. I have got to sleep, right? I was like, you can stream if you want to, but I have got to sleep. How are you going to stay awake? I mean, my eyes are closing here. I'm falling asleep. I remember that the first days it was like on Doge, and some guy had some stream, and I was looking at it, I was like, you guys are too late. I just can't do it. It's too late. I was just indignant about it. I was like, this is awful. It's like, I got to sleep, man. And sure enough, right, as luck might not have it, right, I am here now at, like, sometimes 2, 3 in the morning. It was like, should I stream? I don't know. Maybe the guys want me to stream right now, maybe not. But it's just those hardcore guys that are into crypto. And some guys can't sleep anyway. I'll tell you that. Some dudes like you've been waking up at 3 or say as you've been waking up at 4:30 every morning for work for the last 10, 20 years, and it's like, well, the idea of sleep is nice, but you may not be realistic. So I don't know to the extent that that's accommodating or not. It's nice to welcome you to the new trading day, irrespective of such. We'll just say that. So. Looking at the market paint some red, just not severely. As we would look at BTC, let's just rewind to Bitcoin down very just slightly, about 0.13%. We started off the day just over 46,378. Nice fake out today, guys. On the hourly, you were saved on the hourly barely. If you're trying to trade on the hourly, which no one was, I guarantee you, we had a nice pump move to the upside. Yeah, your schedule is flipped pretty much, Pathfinder. I know the feeling, right? It's just I know the feeling 100%, without a doubt. It's just it is what it is, and it's not. It's I mean you just know once you get more involved in crypto, it's nothing intentional, right? We don't sit there and like, I'm going to start staying up. That's not even it. I'm going to start staying up for crypto. It's not that, nor is it a problem. I always tell people, eat well, sleep well, right? Eat well, sleep well, and make sure you invest in those relationships that you knew were worth investing in before you started investing, right? Bottom line, right? And I just joke sometimes when we stream too late, I'm like, you remember you have to at least go pick your mail up in the outside mailbox, and you have to see your neighbors, right? So we stay cool with that. I'm going to tell you guys, without a doubt, you're not going to find the VIP losing street cred at all ability in terms of their ability, they're functional, they've seen the sunlight, the pool is an option. If you guys go to the pool, good stuff like that, hitting the iron in the daytime. I always encourage a VIP. And Angel, this last week, what's up, brother? He's telling me, we were talking, and he knows I hit the iron all the time. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm doing my push-ups, doing my pull-ups, doing my, so it's very much that kind of crowd. So we've got one of the healthiest kind of I think approaches to the market, and just want to be winners in the market, want to be winners in everything else as well. You guys know that. So let me say a difficult move to the upside BTC. It would have been nice to see it really run. It's not over. This interval is not over. As much as we would have declared this to kind of be like an upward rounding feature in line with Elliott wave formation, right? Nice rounding top. Anytime we see a rounding top, it's like, well, that's Elliott wave. And what did it do? Constrict it up and boom, move to the upside. We were looking at it in the back, okay? We were looking at this. Let me draw this out. The specific move that we were, I'd say, focused on for BTC would be on the 30-minute time frame, something along those lines. We were looking at the specified features of the candlewick formation and the notion that we were in some sort of a parallel carry up function with the resistance and support, or say support to resistance, in the form of a bull flag. Let's see this. Let me dig into this. So in terms of this, in terms of that, we tried to, I'm gonna say this in terms of a technique. Try and find the parallel function on a line of support. If you're a little bit caught up in between patterns, try and find that parallel function on the line of support. And fortunately, we could. Fortunately, on BTC. Let me decloud some of this in terms of the framework here. Even that, I'd like to get rid of that. Let me just draw this down. That's that channel function. So on the right hand side, you'll see BTC. Let's talk about the parameters that we were really looking at with VIP. Giving yourself this parallel channel, and there is under the trend line. You can go down. It's like the 4th or 5th from the bottom parallel channel. That parallel channel can really help you line out if you have, like we had here, 1, 2, 3 hits that are parallel, that are in line. I say in line, synced up, in line, etc. Trend lines. You always want your trend line to encapsulate at least 2 hits, at least 2 pivots on, or 2 marks on the price line, okay, in terms of your trend line, right? And typically, I'll tell you this, you don't want to draw to an active trend line or to an active moving price line, right? If the price is moving up into here, you don't want that necessarily. You never want to draw to that line wherever it's moving to as a trend line. You always want to establish 1 hit, 2 hits, boom. If you can establish 2 hits, that's a trend line. That's a level of resistance, okay? But make sure you encapsulate your specific trend lines with at least 2 hits of preceding price action. Okay, just that will serve you well if you try and hone in on that skill. To the extent that you work with the parallel function, if you're looking at a resistance to support hit to resistance function, this is what attempted to play in terms of this feature of the bull flag. we had talked about that in the back to the extent that it didn't play. Well, hey, that's this is BTC right now. Looks like, again, buyers just reticent to come into the market. And we would have liked a flat top here. Would have been really beautiful to see just kind of a flat top. We did not see that. Let me take this favorites menu off the grid. Let me take this off. How did I get this? Hide favorites, favorite toolbar. I'll hide that. Looking at Doge pick up along support, attempted support. Now, you guys know as well with Doge, the catch on any, just guys, remember this, tuck this away in your toolkit, the catch on any specific bull pennant would be a bull flag. If the pennant can't hold, bam, move to the downside, would be this catch to the bottom line formation. You guys know that. Always pay attention to that. As you're looking at this pennant formation, what would occur next? Like, what would be the next move for any bull pennant that we would look at? And guys, a bull pennant's a move to the upside and essentially a symmetrical consolidation. Any type of a symmetrical triangle, right, would be a bull pennant. It's roughly indicated here. It may push a bit. Just be prepared for this top line threshold. As I'm talking about carrying this line up, okay, on BTC, be prepared for the possibility, because we have a nice angle here. We have a nice angle along the top. The traders are already asking. I know this, guys. They're already asking themselves would they prefer a bull flag in this area. We have a nice move to the upside. Pardon me. Nice move to the upside. If we could have a downward sloping channel, it'd be beautiful for Doge. This is the 5-minute chart right now. You can get out that same. As we look at this in terms of the go into the trend line, go under parallel channel, and we could essentially draw that trend line across the top, hitting at least 2 points, right? And bam, just moving this to the downside. This would be an area of projected target framework for the pickup for your trades. And guys, always know it's a lot easier to pick up on those specific marks. It's crucial. As you look at your Fibonacci's, look at your kind of your trade detail. As you look at, like, I'll talk to someone, they trade Bitcoin or they trade such and such. It's like, well, what are the real details behind that? It's going to be your Fibonacci's. It's going to be your specific targets that you're going to that are going to come into play. We draw them from the preceding breakout right to the top of the candle wick. That is the way that we do it. We have a lot of success with that. Don't rely on me for that, please. Ask the VIP. Ask Pathfinder. He got the low in the market on Doge. Ask him if the preceding breakout to the top of the candle wick, ask him. He's VIP. He's not getting paid anything to say it, I promise, but ask him and he's just very into his Fibonacci's. Ask him if this specific target framework works well for him, or it works out. I mean, it frequently, repetitively works in the market. We believe strongly that it does. We see so much success with this specific framework. Otherwise, it wouldn't be our framework, right? I mean, we spend a lot of time trading, guys. In the back, everything else, we spend a ton of time. And it's not just to laugh at Slim sometimes. He gives a lot of lip to some other influencers and everything else, and you're always saying it's going to be a pump. Is that next week, or is then it going to be the next week? What's your problem? He's Slim Doginator. He's VIP, but I see him on Twitter. He's angry at everybody, and I understand why. He's trying to sift through the ruffians out there, just maybe the guys that are just making a name off of telling people the wrong stuff all the time. And there goes, Pathfinder saying, yes, it works. Do the fibs 100%. Set targets, set fibs, and you're free. Absolutely, brother, without a doubt. Pathfinder is so incredibly impressed with your level of success thus far in 2022. And I'll just say that in the chat. I mean that. And that's just so incredibly impressed with level of success thus far in 2022. I want to put that in the chat for Pathfinder, because that's just the truth. He's solid. He's as solid as they get. And it's just a pleasure to have him around, period. And I want you to know that, brother. You're cool people. Boom. And appreciate having you in the back. It's just cool. It's fun. I don't understand people who don't want to join VIP. Like, and I understand for cost considerations or otherwise, but if you're trading, what I don't get is if you're trading, you'll probably pick up a trade. You'll pick up it's $100 or whatever a month. We want to make sure that people want to be there. We have no idea who people are on the internet. I mean, they could be the biggest dogs in the world, right? So, we have that VIP, that Twitter level of enterprise security in the back, just if anything goes wrong, like, yeah, they're plugged in, like enterprise, like corporate level of security in the back. It's not like a Discord or anything else like that. It's just, some people get targeted on in different in different contexts, right? So it's difficult working with the internet, but we find a good group, a great group, nonetheless. We've made those moves after being in the space for a while, so we think it's the right move, and we'll continue to reinforce it. So looking at Doge potential for this this specific and Doge is held. You guys see the difference between Doge and BTC, because BTC has this same framework. We would say this bull flag is an internal component of the specific framework of its own. And these are not real clean, clear, beautiful technicals. I'll just tell you that it's not really intended to. I want to get through the nuts and bolts of this so that we understand. On the right hand side, what is making this look like this on Doge? Let me see what Doge is doing. Let me reframe this just a touch. Maybe I'll go to the candle wicks. That'll help a bit. And we just have extra lines from that prime Slim. I think you'll agree with that, from that prime indicator. Let me go ahead and lighten this up a little bit in the background. You can also see me work with, anytime you double click on any pattern, it'll let you adjust the color features of it. So some of these things I'll do, it may look like a confusing factor, but just make sure that you understand what you're doing in TradingView. It's a very important tool that it's really like that, it is your interaction with the market, with the technicals. So make sure that you understand that. Let's see. Yeah, you'd love a flag on Doge. Absolutely. That'd be beautiful up and out of this specific indicated triangulation with a move up. A little bit choppy, but with a move up. It's just, look at Doge. Doge doing pretty good, huh? Doge doing quite well. And we had this flag formation, not unsimilar or dissimilar to the framework of BTC, as we look at BTC in terms of the an internalized flag here. I guess we had that towards the end here of Doge. Unfortunately, we didn't complete this flag to the upside. That would have been really just a march on up. That would have been really nice. That move to the upside with a downward sloping channel. Essentially, that extended on through the framework after a little bit of a frustration along the downside. Just maybe some proof to tighten the grip on that trade. Not exactly diamond hands, but just I tell Angel all the time, because he can hold through some serious turbulent waters on his trades. I just tell him he has iron hands, without a doubt. If you've seen him trade, he just definitely has kind of those iron hands. Yeah, there we go. Freddie saying, Pathfinder, appreciate the value that you bring to VIP in the house. And Freddie, we also appreciate the value that you bring to VIP. Without a doubt, you're one of the best traders in VIP. So that's nice of you to say to Pathfinder. Without a doubt, it's that kind of group. Cool deal. And Freddie's got a new job, so we're gonna have to find a way to. Yeah, they can't take too much of your time from VIP. I know it seems like a great job, but we're gonna have to talk to him and give me the name of that foreman or whoever it is, so we can see what's going on. So looking at Doge on the left hand side, just kind of noticing this generalized resistance around that 15 to what is that 15 to we just can't break 15 to 15.39. This area in here is just acting as a level of resistance quite a bit, but we do have that. As we look at the express framework of Doge, we do have the potential for the top there. This is a counter, I'd say a complementary pattern that we're looking at with this flat top resistance, ascending line of support. So that's a good feature. We like that in terms of just a bullish expression. It has stopped at a preceding high. That's okay. We'll take it in terms of the bullish expression. We just completed on the micro an ascending triangle. So I think Doge is okay for now, guys. I think Doge is looking okay. Not bad. And I kind of said this down here too. I'm not pushing Doge. You guys know that, but the technicals are the technicals, and they know that in the back. It's like I'm never gonna back down from the technicals. And if it surprises to the downside, well, maybe that's the 1 or 2 out of 10 times the technicals would just be wrong. So yeah, it's looking good. You understand there's always that's on the probabilities, right? But the VIP no on Doge, it's just been the story of me with arrows up, and I have to repeat this because it's the truth. Right, in terms of just arrow up. You guys know this. In the back, we've just been focusing on up, right, for Doge. So that's nice to see. There's a lot of sentiment that comes with top coin like that in terms of the overall community. So we're happy to be able to participate in terms of that, and hopefully the community gets better in 2022, not worse. It seems like there were some rough waters. We talk about rough waters. It seems like there's some issues with the Doge community. Like they're looking that you can't look for somebody perfect in crypto. It's like that's not what people have problems in life. They're going to have problems in crypto. Some of the smartest people in the market, maybe some of those I don't know. They may have a background, like whoever cares. Like, can they trade? Are they focused on good things now? Like I always tell people, I don't care what you did last summer. But when people start getting rug pulled or whatever else is going on, I'm like, not with Doge. It's it's a pain, right? So it is what it is. I guess it just turns into a lot of drama, and I'm just like, whatever. Just, I always say check with the source and make sure before you invest heavy amounts of money that you understand what you're doing, right? Because anyone can be convinced that something's going up. That's the easy part. Now, can you technically support it? Do you know why, for instance? Do you know why Doge decided to go up in this zone? Do you know why it decided to go up beyond? Well, Elon got involved, such and such. And so. Do you know why technically it decided to move up? What type of pattern that is? Do you know when that likes to repeat? Do you know? Are you honed in technically? Because if you're looking at even a 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, million, whatever the investment would be, just understand that that's valuable in terms of your ability to respect your position in line with your confirming kind of your position and how it makes sense with the market, right? With the market fundamentals. And I say market fundamentals, yes, but also technical fundamentals. We want you to understand the technical fundamentals. What is the risk to the upside, to the downside? What is I'm just gonna say the bigger risk to you if you're a key investor and you don't want to figure out the technicals, if you don't want to be able to understand what the price chart tells you. Beyond looking at the right-hand side and seeing a price, that barely tells you anything. It'll tell you it went up or it went down. You know when the up is over. You know when the down is over. What are those key levels like the 86, etc. So BTC at 0.29%. Right down 46,269. A little bit of a fake out, right? We did not get, and this is a touchy issue now, these confirmations have been tough. You guys know that on the right-hand side. These BTC confirmations have been tough. I've been saying noted recently when I see something like noted, right? Because it's just been tough here and there, hasn't it? So when we don't get a confirmation like the confirmation on this specific move here, and it was a kind of a sleight of hand in terms of we were focusing on the difference between EMAs and simple moving averages, right? We were focusing on that. It decided to kind of move up this and that without a strong confirmation. This is on the 5-minute. We didn't get a strong confirmation. I hate to note it after the fact. I'm like, well, I guess it's going to keep going on up, right? It's going to keep and complete the move. But as we look at things, we just prefer a solid confirmation. We just do. It gives a lot. It really reinforces the technicals in the market when we see a solid confirmation prior resistance, boom, being used as support. Not a move like this. Not that kind of confirmation. Just tucking up and above in terms of that level of resistance breakthrough. Bam, using prior resistance as support, and bam, moving to the upside. That's what we're typically looking for. So this whole area has been a little bit. It's been a little bit like Bitcoin, hasn't it? But a little bit. The framework has been, guys. It's been catchy. You guys have to admit this. It's been catchy recently. As you would look at this in terms of BTC, we could probably count half of the moves. I'm going to say half. It almost seems like at least half that have been fake outs. You guys, you've been paying attention. You guys agree with VIP on BTC recently? It seems like about half the moves have been fake out. And I would just say the ones who've been prepared to move to the upside, and I've tried to reinforce that recently, just with the fact, even after this pour down on the small pour down on this ascending wedge, that it has just behooved people to have a bit of a position, right? To maintain position, be able to move up, always ready to compound down to lower levels if we can reach them, i.e. that 23.6 that we hit on BTC on this. We can go to the 4-hourly, right? But that Fibonacci, real easy, guys. The targeting tool, bam, to the upside. Boom, right into that level, top level. But, you have to be prepared to operate. I just tell you have to be prepared to operate at these lower levels. Like immediately. Like, why not immediately? Just be prepared to operate at the lower levels. The guy who's all in up here, I'll tell you, the guy who's all in up here was all in, unless he just got to the market, was probably all in right here. Okay? And boom. That's the same type of mentality. 50% erased to the market. His threshold may be, well, I can't lose more than 30 or 40%. And some of the worst cases you hear is, well, he had to let it go. It was 50% down. And then, then it starts to go back up. So that all-in mentality, it's just fatal. It's very difficult to work with. Now you'll get, you'll approach situations that kind of make it seem like it's unnecessary to have it all in mentality when you really see the coins that really start moving. We haven't really gotten there yet. Yes, we have a few newer coins that have moved. VIP have traded up to like a 30x in some of those coins. And what would we say? Let's see what we have. in terms of that dynamic, when you really get on a bull run with something, and guys, we're just not necessarily there. It's an odd time for the market. When you look at Doge, for instance, look at Doge on the left, and look at what it's done on the daily. When you really experience this type of price action, bam, bam, 210x opportunities. Those are 210x opportunities. All right. So to the extent that 007 to 7 and then 7 to 70, right? So 210x's possible on Doge. When you really experience that price action, that's where you get the real notion of what crypto can really do. And that's what's really exciting. Yes, we're trading right now, but we're looking for some more opportunities like that, right? To really have a coin that people know, that you're familiar with, that you don't have to get to know the coin in like 3 days or like 3 hours, right? And feel comfortable putting your money into it. It's like with Doge, people knew about it. With SHIB, people knew about it. Bitcoin, everything from Harmony 1 to, I didn't give the original coins. Some of them have a lasting impact on us, like everything from VeChain. Like, I'm not going to sell anybody VeChain, but like Matic, Luna, some of these like real strong names that we have, like Polkadot, like XRP. We just know them, right? We know them. We're not having to, we could make an investment in XRP with a good pattern with no problem. You guys know that. Whereas a new coin hits the market and we're like, I want to look into this. I really want to know. Meanwhile, XRP is being sued by the SEC, right, with another extension just released. And it's like, so it takes more time to get involved with new investments that you feel comfortable with, to just assume that the exchanges have done their levels of due diligence, right? That's the big thing. It'd be great if all the exchanges did great due diligence and we're just automatically, guaranteed that whatever we put our money into, it's going to be in a quality project. That just hasn't been the case. You start seeing the exchange delisting some projects, and it's not all about the pattern technicals. Sometimes you have to, and all the time I say, you have to incorporate those fundamentals of the market, the dev team, the management team. What's crucially important to what's the critical utility of the coin. So we focus on that quite a bit, and we'll continue to focus on that more in 2022 as we continue to grow and the market continues to perform well. You guys know this. So I want to see what that SHIB killer is going to do. It's already up at 3x. I have no idea. It may tank. You guys think SHIB killer, QOM, calm? I have no idea what it is. You guys see what it is? I don't know if it's going to tank. What do you guys think? It could just completely tank. Let's look at this in terms of the SHIB killer, QOM, Shiba Predator. That it is. It's this Falcon deal, and I looked at it because it has a big. Look at this. It's got the SHIB, the dead SHIB. It's a new SHIB killer. It's available on LBank. You guys can get that. It's a link on the top there. In terms of the top, you can check. In terms of the top pinned tweet, if you guys don't trade on LBank already, there's Doge 5L. If you want to trade Doge 5L, you can trade Doge 5L and some other stuff. It's got some good new listings. I think a 3x already on that Predator. So I don't know. It could be a worthless coin, but anything that wants to overtake another coin, I'm interested if they have that community behind them. Looks like the Predator has some people. They have some community behind them. So looking at the framework here, let's go into the BTC charts. A little bit of relief just to have the entirety of the screen available to me, at least. I know it doesn't look that bad on the screen. So looking at this framework, interesting on the daily. Wow, what do you guys think on the daily here? This is an interesting little moment for BTC. Looks like all right, let's look on the daily here. As we look at the conformance here, this projection to the upside, I almost don't want to call this because of lower time frames, right? But looking at the framework here, it appears to be a rising wedge. You guys know that. It appears that we're in a rising wedge on BTC, okay, on the daily. Very interesting, right? Very, very interesting. Certainly, Fibonacci's would be in order, right? That first level pickup, obviously, on that macro. Just an interesting formulation on the daily. We don't necessarily frequently see a rising wedge on the daily. Just real interesting, real super interesting. I think you guys have to. You have to agree. It's pretty interesting, isn't it? To see it's like a micro rising wedge on the daily chart. It seems unique. We don't normally stay that aligned. It was an interesting moment for BTC recently over the preceding, let's say the time frame here, the preceding time frame, or number of days as we stayed along this top of this resistance. It's just BTC doesn't normally carve along resistance like that. It's not normally it'll carve kind of laterally like side to side. BTC likes to carve side to side and let the other coins kind of move as they will move. And as we see this this framework here, maybe that's a better framework for us to put things into. Again, what's important is bottom line support. You guys know that. The descending triangle is still in play. And we just want to beat this high. Bottom line, we want to beat this high. We need to beat this framework. Descending triangles like to push. I don't want to say that this one will push, but when I say push, it'll like to try and get up and out. And when we say push, this is what we mean. Bam, we just extend this over to this level. So to the extent that that continues to occur, that's indicative of why descending triangles, descending line of resistance, where they're hard to trade. I still have orders on Doge at 7.5 cents. My man. See, and who's going to hit the 7.5 cents? If there is a calamity in the market, Pathfinder's going to hit it, 7.5 cent Doge. I mean, just think, if the whole market gets ripped to shreds, literally, 7.5 cent Doge, he's VIP. He already hit the low in the market with our 86, classic 86 target. Boom, right? I mean, do people know or don't know? Who knows? Something gets outlawed. Who knows, right? I don't want to spread FUD at all, but things happen. Like, Elon decided to do a test liquidation of BTC on the prior high around 65,000, right? So, I mean, that's not FUD at all. That's just like, no, you got a lot of hello for it. Hello, you did the wrong thing for it, right, in terms of that. But from a lot of people, didn't like him. But just to test the liquidity like that, we have no idea what's going to happen in the market. Some guy in his own he's probably on his Tesla cell phone and just boom, here, bam. It's like, I just decided to do a test of liquidity. Sure, that was nice test of liquidity on the Elliott wave top of indicated BTC. Either he knows TA or someone around him knows TA very well. I'll say that, guys. Either he knows it or someone else around him knows it extremely well. For the record, Tesla, Elon, etc. I wouldn't put it past him to know it, but somebody is real geared into the specifics of TA. A lot of their moves in terms of acquisitions, releases, in terms of liquidity tests, a lot of their moves are very, very interesting. So the bulls are looking at this specific pattern on Doge on the daily and kind of wondering if that could be improved, right? To the extent it would be an inverse head and shoulder, be perfect, right? Need to break that top line, neckline. Let's take a look at this in terms of the head and shoulders. Have that left shoulder. We have the head formation. We have the right shoulder. That could be sweet. Let's take a look at the upside target on that. Otherwise, we have an ascending wedge here to deal with in terms of something just to get through. I'd say something to get through. Hoping to see a lot higher prices on Doge. Let's look at Doge in terms of the price carry up. If we can beat the specific top line resistance. And let's dig into this. In terms of the overall move, that'd be 17.6 in terms of that top line move. Boom, 20% to the upside. It'd be very, very nice. Want to shout out to all the VIP. Want to shout out to the base campers, etc. And just hope you guys had a good weekend. I decided to stream early today just to welcome you guys in on the weekend. We had a good stream. We had I have to shout out definitely to our new member, our new base camper, Sean. Make yourself at home, brother. You are welcome to chat. You're welcome to do what you will. That is why we are here. So Sean is a new base camper. Lanchester, we haven't forgotten about you at all. We want you to join our VIP, loud and proud, with the red, white, and blue 21 years of service. Appreciate you stopping by and hope that these are of continual utility to you and anyone else that you know that may need to learn some TA or just focus on good TA. That's one thing we do. A lot of us know it. We just like to reinforce it amongst ourselves. So welcome to the new year, essentially with base camper VIP, that ultimate level. So we're looking at inverse head and shoulders on Doge, just checking it out. Want to see Doge do well. We have streamed a lot of Doge. When it gets up and busy, it likes to make cash. I'll just tell you that. So does BTC. BTC is kind of the BTC is the main framework. So we're seeing BTC kind of frustrate into, I'd say a larger dynamic of what we're attempting to at least structure along this 200, right, as a level of support on the 1 hourly. We're currently picking up at that 200. All right, as you would look at that. Now we can go into the candle wicks on this specific, let's say, most recent duration here, and we're picking up along that 50%. There's orders at the golden pocket, guys. Orders at 786, orders at the 86. There's orders at that bottom line threshold. I was telling you there are. In the market, there are orders at those levels. If you choose not to put orders at that level, then you are choosing to to pave your own road. We like to hit our Fibonacci's. That's the big deal. That's kind of what we're known for, is targeting at lower levels. Buying at support, selling at resistance, trading your patterns, and hitting those targets. So to the extent that we're in a descending triangle, that would be a bearish feature. We're going to be watching for some structural work here in this patterning dynamic, and we might want to do this. Let's dig into let's go to the 30-minute, and let's look at this framework to see if we can get a pickup on this line. We were just discussing this. So going to the trend line, let's see, menu option here. Drawing this up here in terms of the carry down function here is not unheard of. Now there's going to be those specific Fibonacci's in play. You guys know that. But creating a parallel channel from this fake out that just occurred to a pickup here would not be unheard of. I wouldn't be surprised if we're getting some interaction at that level. And sure enough, we're right on there. From the line to the candlewick, we've picked up exactly at that level thus far. And what would we say in terms of the overall dynamics? Man, I spent a lot of time with MACD over the last 12 to 24 hours. A lot of time. A lot of different signals being broadcast amidst the different time frames right now. Daily, looking nice. Let me actually go through, and was it the daily to the weekly in terms of this function? Now the daily looks like it's cooling off, guys. The daily MACD looks like we're losing a little bit of strength. It can continue to create another wave of momentum, right? This looked like it was kind of cooling off. It created another wave of momentum. So to the extent that we're in a cool off versus a need for another wave of momentum, right, that's going to be the crucial factor. I brought this to the VIP, and guys, we're close to that crossover, right, on that daily. You guys know that it's not a death knell or a death, it's not a kill switch necessarily, right? We can still have some surprises to the upside without a doubt, but the momentum seems to be rolling over on that daily. However, the weekly seems to be picking up. You guys see this. So I encouraged the VIP earlier just to not be over reliant in terms of the specifics for the MACD, etc. All of your chart patterns and whatnot. As you would look at this preceding move here, let's zoom into this. I think this is important. Let's look at this as BTC's barely off. Looking at the MACD here for a moment, this kind of the histogram along with these moving averages. I won't get too detailed on what's demonstrated. Just EMA crossover essentially is what we're looking at, right? Exponential moving average, right? As we look at this, the pickup of momentum in here on the weekly, just notice the histogram picking up, bam, momentum shifting to the upside, and just notice that we do get into a period of retracement amidst this positive pickup on the retracement. You guys are a positive pickup in terms of the momentum. We just do, right? So this move to the downside is still part of the shift to positive momentum. Huge shift to positive momentum. You seen that? That was a pretty severe time. If you guys were paying attention to that, that was it was a difficult threshold for a lot of people. I think some people lost some major cash during this period. They were overexposed, over-leveraged to the top. They lost some cash here, guys. So, yeah, that was not we were confident in, I'd say the analogy that we had drawn early on at that level, as you guys look at this, from the preceding bull flag in December to January 2020. You guys recall I was saying, it's retraced that much before it retraced into that zone, right? It has that pattern dynamic. It looks easy now. Then it was not easy at all, just to let you know. So that degree of a retracement, and just looking at that, guys, it wasn't easy because you were down 20%, 25%. That's a big drop, guys. So as you look at that, just currently put into perspective, if we were to drop 25% from here, let's just ballpark it. If we were to drop 25%, hello. You see, guys, look at this. If you were to drop 25%, I just want to bring this up to the crew, you'd be back nearly to your 50% retracement at 35,841. Okay, that's 25%. Bam, this would be 25%. That's a big deal. I think you guys will agree that's a big deal. So when I look at the weekly right now in terms of this shift on the MACD, understand, MACD, sure it works. I mean, sure it works, right? You just need to, trade that momentum, no problem. Find yourself a divergence, no problem. I mean, you're in the positive framework here in terms of the shift on the weekly to the upside, right? No big deal, just 25% off of the books. Hey, no problem. You almost lose your job for that. Literally, you almost lose your job for that. The period. So just relying solely on the MACD here in terms of that shift to the upside. When we see the momentum start to go down, we are seeing the shift to the upside on the weekly. Be prepared that this occurred in the weekly amidst a shift towards positive momentum in the market. All right, that's a big deal, guys. So as we look at the daily cool off, you'll see that this specific area in here got into some negative momentum here, well demonstrated on the daily MACD. All right, that also the I say the level of let's say difficulty here is that the momentum to the upside did cool off, and it's just like the weekly to the daily. This is probably the daily to the different time frame here. If we go down to like the 30-minute, we'll see some negative MACD in this negative momentum in the MACD on this specific retracement, etc. But this interval cools off, heats up, and then starts to diminish, right? Starts to level out across the top. So to the extent that we have achieved a maximization, the threshold, essentially we're tapped out, right? We tapped out on the daily. We need to heat up. You guys know that. Are we tapped out on the daily? Well, we need to heat up. We're going through a crossover on the daily MACD right now on BTC. Just bear that in mind. Big deal. You guys get that? Big deal. So as we look at that, I just want you guys to frame that in the proper framework in terms of your positioning, etc. Not to be bearish, just understand what has occurred. And that weekly looks strong, doesn't it? I'm going to say for the record, the weekly looks really strong, and it's served well in the past. Okay, so that's a good indicator for us to continue to look at. Let's see what we got here. We still have orders on Doge at 7.5. I bit more than 20, and a bit more than 20 in the golden pocket. Killer. Way to go. So I wanted to come to you guys and just say what's up on the weekend. Hope you guys are doing well. I'll be in the back with the VIP, etc. And yeah, looking at the Express framework, we do understand that we have a potentially troublesome small little problem on the daily. Potentially, huh? Not used to seeing these on the daily like this. I just say this is a very rare occurrence for BTC as you would look at this in terms of this this specific rising wedge like this. Now the fallout needn't be that severe, but it is if you look at like a bull or a bear flag, right? A bear flag, an upward ascending channel framework amidst a move to the downside. It's just interesting, right? As we would flip this real quickly. Let me flip this. Yeah, you see the framework we're into right now on the daily. Now you see it a little bit differently, right? The framework on the daily just inverted, and yes, the inverted wedges they do play. Okay, could this disappoint to the downside? Sure. Okay, on a non-flipped assessment, sure. But you just see the natural expressed. A lot of people would get really excited about trading this if it were inverted, right? We'd be very excited about and biased. I'll say biased and excited about that. Flipping it over, it's like we kind of get the impression, etc. So always look at those inverted charts and don't let that scare you out of the market necessarily. In terms of BTC, this week, I don't want to project into the week. We're going to take it pattern by pattern, day by day. Some of you may have booked a trade just from watching the chart last night, etc. Just being prepared for a move to the upside. But really, we just saw a pretty hefty fake out, depending on the time frame, etc. Here, we have this line of resistance that needs to be heftily, I'd say, conquered to the upside. I've got my alerts on. We'll be bringing you guys some more additional diagnostics soon. Right now, I think we just need a little bit more patterning after this fake out. A little bit disappointing during this last day. It's just, that's Bitcoin. It'll do that. And we are just prepared for it. Never overexposed at any higher price. Never jumping all into any specific trade. You guys know that. And we'll let the patterning come to us. I'm going to say that. Let the patterning come to us, knowing there are orders here as in addition to the Fibonacci framework on through this specified level. I'll be in the back updating the charts. And if you guys aren't VIP yet, we miss you in the back already. Want you guys to know that. This is London with Bitcoin Spike. Thanks for joining us in. If you trade Doge or trade BTC, you are amongst good people here. We are of the same mindset. We also have the guys Solana, Near, Ethereum, everything from Rune to Sheeb to Mana to Doge. You guys got waves to the entirety of it. Harmony 1, VeChain, Rose. We're looking for some good movers here in this next part of the day. We'll talk to you soon, guys. Thanks so much for being a part of the stream. Shout out to VIP Basecamp. We will be probably streaming tomorrow. We may do it